and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a cybersecurity engineer at a publicly traded company.
We've been hacked! They're through our firewall!
How is that even possible?
They got my password.
Please don't tell me your password was password.
It's actually password 1.
This is a job for Sponsored Jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
What's up, my friends? This is Francisco Lindor.
This is Devin Williams.
This is Luke Weaver.
Bo Bichette here. You're listening to the home of New York Mets baseball.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Well. Day 2 of Maggie Gray in for Bart Scott on ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. And we are thrilled to have you again.
Well, I think it's like a fine wine situation. This is going to be like a fine wine situation. You know, it's just going to keep getting better. It's like you open the bottle of red, you decant it, and that's the kind of fancy stuff I bring to the table.
Last week, I wouldn't say I'm a big wine person.
Yeah.
I would say, maybe 1 or 2 glasses a week. But I'm on wine a little bit more these days than beer. I don't know why. It just happens to be the case. Opened up one last week that had been sitting around the house forever. God, that was awful. Oh, my God.
It was vinegar, actually.
It legit tasted like grape juice that had gone bad.
Well, you want to know what else is sour right now? Mets offense.
That was, what was it? That was non-existent. You did the John Travolta meme yesterday on Twitter. I saw that. Met offense. What are we doing here? Where is it?
Up, looking around. And listen, if this had actually been a series against the Dodgers or if this was a series against, I don't know, Brewer, whoever you think is going to be good in the National League, then maybe you say, all right, the hitting's a little behind the pitching. This is against the St. Louis Cardinals, Carlin, and I don't want to hear from the people who are saying, hey, it's 5 games of the season, 6 games in the season, to forget how many outs are in the inning, like Francisco Lindor did yesterday. Okay, you have a 1-hour rain delay. You didn't forget how to play baseball because it rained for an hour. And you want to know what? It's the easiest one to go to because Lindor had an awful day yesterday.
Yes, he did.
He forgot how many outs were in the inning. He gets picked off at first with Juan Soto at the dish, and Soto ends up homering, so you would have had 2 runs on the board. Instead, it's a solo home run, and by the way, you lost the game 2-1 and then lost the series. But this is multiple mental errors now. Lindor is going to be the poster child because he's supposed to be the poster child for good things. He was the poster child for bad yesterday. But you've had Luis Robert 2 games ago, missed the cutoff man. You had Bo Bichette picked off at first. You had Marcus Semien get caught yesterday. It's like all these guys who are supposed to be seasoned vets are coming up with these horrific mental gaffes. This was not a better team that beat the Mets in this series. This was the Mets offense no-showing.
Yeah, and in essence, taking a couple of days off. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, so I don't want to get called an alarmist or panic or Maggie calm down because it's only so many games in the season. This is like Little League stuff.
I'm I'm legitimately started to worry about Lindor. And not worry like Lindor's not going to have a good year. Really starting to call into question whether Lindor is part of the solution here or not. And it's not just because of that yesterday. It's because of the overall picture of how we've seen the last year and a half, 2 years unfold. So we went this offseason to restructure this team to not just be a better run prevention team, which is in question, but also to be a team that changed up the chemistry, more importantly.
Yeah.
We all blame Jeff McNeil, and I think there were problems with Jeff McNeil and Lindor, certainly, but it happened for a couple of years. At what point, if things are not going right, do I start to look at Lindor as saying, hey, hang on a second, there's a common denominator here. And it may be unfair, but I don't care. It's been 5 years now that he's been here. Think about that. It even struck me this morning. It was like it popped me right in the nose this morning. He's been here for 5 years. That's been 5 years already. And this is what we've been looking at so far from a $340 million contract. I think it's very fair to say, you might look at the numbers and say otherwise. I can't say that he has lived up to the contract because they haven't won enough with him as a corner piece of a winning team.
Has Lindor lived up to the contract is a fascinating question. You're going to put me in an uncomfortable position today because he was so bad last night, and he was so bad in the St. Louis series, and they all were bad, but Lindor specifically. But I can't blame Lindor because overall the Mets have not produced, like, let's say, in the Steve Cohen era, right? This is a Mets team, and I want to be fair to Lindor. He came in second in MVP voting in 2024. He was amazing in 2024, and I think that's where he really became like a potential captain of the team. We obviously know that's not going to happen now. But he's had 3 managers, 3 general managers. It's not Lindor's fault that the pitching has been subpar. It's the reason why the season got tanked last year. You're bringing up Jonah Tong and these guys who had been pitching in Somerset, 2 weeks before, visiting to play the Yankees. I saw him. I went to that game and then get to really quickly rush through AAA and then has to get forced up to the big club. And these guys, besides Noel McLean, they just weren't ready. You had a lack of pitching, and I can't blame it all on Lindor. When he got here, Luis Rojas was his manager, right? It's not like Luis Rojas, now he's third base coach for the Yankees. He didn't get scooped up by the Dodgers,
Yeah.
And then going through Buck Showalter, who we all like. But it's not Lindor's fault they threw all these resources at Verlander and Scherzer, and Edwin Diaz, hurts himself in the World Baseball Classic because he's celebrating. I think Lindor, to me, I can't say he hasn't lived up to the contract. I think he has. The problem is that he doesn't have the hardware. And now Juan Soto's here on his corner. And as far as who's going to be the leader of this team. But if you're asking me, has he lived up to the contract? I have to say yes. I mean, the guy is at second in MVP in 2024. It's just everything's a mess around him.
Yeah. When you're going to be, though, that guy who was supposed to be the cornerstone for the longest time, you do have to shoulder a lot of the blame. It's a little bit like being the quarterback. It's not the same. Because, yes, you do have to look around you and everybody else in the lineup because baseball is an individual production sport.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me later this year, put it this way, I was very comfortable saying this today because I think it's going to be a conversation that's going to last throughout the year. I think this might be the first time that anybody's talking about it. I'm very comfortable saying I think there's a good chance Lindor's not a Met at the end of the year. If things went poorly, I think that could really go the other way. And when I think about politics and dynamics, there is no question in my mind as to who wins out in the end in any kind of a power struggle that happens.
Well, yeah, it's the guy who got the 13-year contract,
yes,
right? Juan Soto.
And double the money that Lindor did.
Yeah, I get that, but okay, think of that in real time. So you're positing now, we're asking you today, has Lindor lived up to the contract? And obviously, he had a terrible game yesterday with mental errors and an offer and all that. But here's my question to you. You're all about run prevention. Well, you know what? Francisco Lindor actually plays the position that he should be on the diamond. He is a very good shortstop. Maybe people quibble about his arm, but defensively, I feel like he is elite. You're not putting him at third. So the arm, I never thought Lindor couldn't get the ball where it needed to go.
There was never the thought of we have to play Bichette at short.
No, I mean, Bichette comes in, he moves over, right?
Yes.
And Bichette has not played third. Polanco's barely played first. You have this rotating cast. I guess Marcus Simeon's the only one who also is playing his natural position. If you're all about run prevention, which I get is pitching, that's first and foremost. Can you really afford to get rid of Lindor, trade him away, and potentially go down in terms of defense? Like, what makes you think you're getting an upgrade there if you're trading away Lindor?
I don't know that. To be clear, if this is something that we're talking about, we're only talking about it because Mendoza's already been fired by that point. And things have really gone horribly awry. And we're getting 2.5 months from now, 3 months from now, to the end of July and the deadline, and the Mets are 15 games under 500.
Oh, well, this is you're painting the disaster of all disasters.
Right, but what I'm saying is when I talk about the possibility of Lindor not being here, I ultimately think that's going to be the case. I don't believe Lindor is going to be part of a Mets championship team.
Because of him? Because of something he's done?
No,
okay.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I will not quibble with what the numbers have been. He has produced.
Yeah.
He does go through the stretches where it's inconsistent and he cannot hit a beach ball, but I also think that Lindor is going to – this dynamic here with Soto is going to be a problem. I feel like it's going to be a problem, and they may try to downplay it as much as possible. I just try to look forward and think, well, ultimately, who wins that battle? And when things are going poorly and you're not winning, and this owner is spending that amount of money on this team, and he's not getting the results, something has to change, and it's clearly going to be something beyond the manager.
Okay, asking today, has Lindor lived up to the contract? I just have to wonder, with all the change that you've already made this offseason, right? You got 9 new players on a baseball team. Lindor, I think, has a good relationship with the owner. I think has a good relationship also with, like, the owner's wife. Like, I think he's part of the family.
Oh, I don't think it's about that.
No, but would you actually – you just got rid of Alonso, Nimmo, Jeff McNeil. The fan base's head is kind of spinning, right? And – would you actually go to the one thing left that is kind of like what you know and what you could really hang your hat on? I know Juan Soto will be the best player on the team. I get that. But he's still relatively new around here. You know what I mean? So would you actually destabilize things even further, potentially, by getting rid of Lindor? He's got to, or trading him away, he's got to have allies all over this organization. Clearly he does, because look who's here and look who's gone.
This might be an unfair comparison, but I'm going to make it anyway. The way I look at the Mets right now, it's got very much a Harden, Kyrie, Durant vibe to me.
Ooh.
It's unfair.
That is a shot.
That's tough. And they have not been that bad so far. I truly believe, and this is not propping anybody up. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this person has to stay because he is definitely part of the solution. I'm looking at more who's likely to lose this battle. And when I think about Soto has a Kevin Durant vibe to me. He is a great, great player who wants to be perceived as somebody who is a leader. Why did he initially go? This is not why Soto went here, okay? But why did Durant initially leave Golden State and go to the Nets? Because everybody told him, well, listen, to be taken seriously, you have to go somewhere else and put your own team together and build it yourself.
Right. You can't be the bus rider, as Charles Barkley.
Right. So he does that with Harden and specifically with Kyrie, but when it came to personality, he deferred to Kyrie. Like, he wants to be perceived as the leader, but not actually do the things that a leader does. For instance, when the Nets went to Durant, when Kyrie, all those COVID problems were happening and all that, and said, hey, we need you to help us out here a little bit, his response was, I'm good. I'm good. And I feel like that would be the case. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that in this equation, Francisco Lindor is Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I was going to say then.
I'm using it more.
Who's Sean Marks?
Yeah, I'm using it more as an example of why I think the primary figure in all of this has got some Durant in him. And before he says, I'm good, get me out of here, I'm going to exercise every other option. So I'm almost kind of being preemptive in that because I do think that, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In 2 more years, if they're not winning,
Yeah.
but he's still playing pretty well,
Soto, yeah.
you think Soto wants to hang out here? Or is he going to force the hand of, I got the money. I got to look at him to see when his opt-out is. I'm not going to worry about that. He's clearly going to opt out if he plays at this level. But even, like, I got the money. I'm going to move on. Like, hey, maybe you want to think about moving me here.
Okay, so you kind of see Soto then as a career mercenary. Always going to be looking for the greener pasture.
Absolutely.
Always going to be looking for the better. And Kevin Durant has done literally the same thing. And it's been stark at times.
Every aspect of that contract travels with him.
Okay, well, then kind of doesn't that make you like Lindor a little bit more? I mean, Lindor didn't choose New York. He got traded here. But ever since he did, as far as captaincy, I mean, listen, we're never going to know all the interpersonal. Like, we know a lot about what happened with Jeff McNeil because they made up that stupid story about the rat and the raccoon that only made us care about it even more.
Yeah.
But
and then we found out they had another one later last year.
Right. But do we know that, he had so much trouble with Nimmo or Alonso? I don't know if now, don't you want the guy in Lindor who actually wants to be the captain then? If you think Soto is going to be already looking out for the exit if this thing goes sour with the Mets, then shouldn't Lindor get a feather in his cap for sticking it out?
He should. And this, again, unfair, perhaps.
Yeah.
When did Jeter ever forget how many outs there were?
It's unforgivable. How
How many times can you remember in your life Jeter getting picked off?
He was dialed in all the time, Jeter was.
So he had a bad day, and it's April 1st, literally April 1st. I honestly, things like that, I don't expect them to continue, but those are little things that will bother me when I'm trying to make a decision about who stays and who goes. And this is not about Lindor's a bad guy. He's the problem. He's got to go. This is about one guy doesn't like the other guy. They don't like each other.
Sure.
And where does this power dynamic eventually end up? It ends up in the hands of the $760 million player. And if I'm Steve Cohen and somebody comes to me and Soto says, it's him or me, I'm picking you. That's how it goes.
But does that mean Lindor hasn't lived up to the contract? Like, I guess I would say this. If you're saying Lindor hasn't lived up to the contract,
I'm getting on him for not winning enough, for sure.
Because they haven't won enough.
Yeah.
But I would ask you, is that all Francisco Lindor's fault that they didn't have a starting pitcher last year to finish things out? Is it his fault that Edwin Diaz decides to go to the Dodgers? Is it his fault that Kyle Tucker decides to go to the Dodgers? Is it his fault that Yoshinobu Yamamoto decides to go to the Dodgers? Like, the Mets were right there.
Can I ask a question then?
Yeah.
All right, it's funny that you say that. Yamamoto aside.
Sure.
Diaz.
Yeah. He jumped ship.
He jumped ship.
Yeah.
Money was the same.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it, I
it's a
just
bad
want to be, listen, I can respect it if it's, I just want to be in L.A. I'd rather be somewhere else.
I think he was chapped also about the Devin Williams thing.
I'm sure.
Maybe.
I'm sure that was not the smartest of moves, or at least not the best timed of moves.
Yeah. I like the move, by the way.
Yeah, no, listen.
I would have liked it more if they kept Diaz.
Yes.
Devin Williams was the setup
If Devin
guy.
Williams was a setup man, I'd feel amazing about it.
Yeah, but he's been okay. He's been good.
If there was not the discussion to him of, hey, we're signing him to be your setup guy at the time, then that's on them. But that aside, is it possible that Diaz looked at that situation and said, am I going to win with this whole dynamic here, how this all goes? And I'm not making Edwin Diaz out to be this incredible leader of having amazing perception of a whole situation and how it's going to play out.
No, but he's been in the clubhouse longer than any of them.
Yeah. So maybe that plays a role. And again, there's a lot of maybes in here. I understand that. But
do you
I'm
just
not
think
ruling
something's
anything
rotten
out.
with the whole team?
Huh?
You think something's rotten with the whole team?
Something was clearly rotten where they felt like they had to do some drastic things this past year.
Of course.
But if that continues, do you double down on the guys that you've had there, or do you say, well, this guy's been here for 5 years, and we haven't gotten it quite done, and he's had a couple of issues with a couple of different people.
Sure.
When do I start to look at the common denominator?
In 2024, Lindor was the man. Yeah. I mean, Alonso hit the big home run, but, I mean, Lindor was amazing in that run.
And it's not that you can't be that guy. It's not that you can't be that guy somewhere else. It's just because of what they chose to do on the Soto front that this particular combination just may not work. Listen, we can say all we want. When you hear Buster say they have literally, and I don't hear it's that big of a deal, but they did move his locker to the other side of the room. It sounds like they could have put his locker in Corona. They would have done it.
I was going to say, that Artemis that went up into the air yesterday was put Lindor's locker.
Yeah, Lindor's over in the corner in his locker on Artemis.
Yeah, Lindor's on the moon while they circumvent for the next 10 days.
By the way, had no idea that was happening. We'll get to that later. Had no idea we were going to the moon yesterday.
We're going to the moon?
Yeah.
I didn't either.
We'll get to it later.
Okay. But can I bring up one other point or ask you again today? Has Lindor lived up to the contract?
Yeah.
Yesterday, not great.
Offensively, he has lived up to the contract. In winning, no.
But is it his fault? It's hard for me to say this is him. Again, 3 general managers, 3 managers. He's continued to produce. Okay, the interpersonal stuff, but, it kind of takes 2 to tango.
Again, it might be unfair. Is it unfair to say that Lindor was brought here to be the Mets Jeter? It might be stretching it a bit.
Nobody's Jeter.
No, but it might be stretching it a bit.
He's not homegrown, though. But
to play that role. The centerpiece of our winning culture. That's what you were brought here to be.
I think that's fair.
Okay. So if that's the case, and we have not nearly won enough, you may get a lot of the credit when we do, but you're going to catch some of the heat when we don't.
How about this? More of the PR game that's being played here. I don't know if you saw this article in The Athletic about how Juan Soto has taken Luis Robert Jr. under his belt. And now he's demonstrating leadership, according to Carlos Mendoza. Listen, if these two really have this kind of frayed or fractured or, cold relationship, if there's a lot to that and it's not just getting overblown with some media stuff, then this could be a sign of Soto trying to get a faction, It's like, well, Luis Robert's going to be my guy.
Lindor has lived up to the contract in terms of his actual production. But has he lived up to the contract to what I believe the spirit of the contract was? No. The spirit of the contract is you are coming here to be the centerpiece of a championship team. And at the time, we gave you a 10-year, $340 million contract, and that was there to reflect that. We gave you that contract after we traded for you. We did not have to give it to you immediately.
That's true.
We traded for you, so we are sending a message at that point. And you have now been here for half of that contract. And we are not near the promised land. Is this going to be the first domino that falls? No.
No, Mendoza.
But it won't be the last one either.
Mendoza will be the first one that falls.
Let me just quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think the Lindor domino would fall before the Stearns domino?
Yes, I do. I think David Stearns is like running the show. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Cohen gets involved. I think he got involved with Soto.
Yeah.
To get to an uncomfortable amount of money because he's the one who has to sign the check. But no, I think Stearns gets a lot of runway here. Probably more than Lindor. I know it was Sandy Alderson was here, I think, when Lindor got traded. Was that the first GM?
Yeah, he was kind of back in that pseudo role at that point when.
Right. He had come back like emeritus.
Right.
Can I just point out one other thing? So the Mets traded Brandon Nimmo right after apparently he had built this massive home in Port St. Lucie. He was like, wait a minute, what about all the barbecues we were going to have? I was just about to have the whole team over. Did you see the story from, I'm going to get the date on this. Oh, this is a little while ago. I thought it was more recent, that Lindor bought a $20 million penthouse on the Upper East Side.
I did not see that.
I mean, I know everything is real estate in this city. You're going to unload a $20 million penthouse if you get traded? Or do you keep it? This is your New York pied-à-terre.
It depends on the market. Honestly,
the interest rates.
Am I going to be able to sell this thing?
Are you thinking about that when it's a $20 million investment?
I mean,
Are you really thinking about the resale value?
What celebrity am I trying to get to move to New York or new place?
Yeah,
$20 million.
Ty Simpson. What are you doing with that signing bonus here?
And even then, I think you'd probably have to wait for him to get his second contract before you can sell that.
Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo can own it together.
Some of the comments are coming in on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, which is where you should go watch the show and comment. Carlin, this is from Edwin. Carlin, the Yankees have maybe the best player in baseball and can't win. One player can't win you a World Series in baseball. Well,
got dang close.
I'm sorry. Who were we absolutely destroying for never hitting in the postseason until last year? Aaron Judge. By the way, only reason we're not talking about Aaron Judge right now is they're 5-1. That's the only reason.
Because the pitching has been so unbelievable.
Yes, it has been amazing so far. I think Soto enjoyed a certain dynamic in the clubhouse, but all that changed. No, I think he means Lindor here because he wrote it wrong. This is from Baki, B-A-K-I. I think Lindor enjoyed a certain dynamic in the clubhouse, but all that changed when Soto came in, and some players are very sensitive about it. Comfort and routine matters a lot in terms of getting through a marathon season.
Listen, this is something that the beat reporters would probably have a better handle on. Do you think Lindor makes people uncomfortable?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
I look at every possible dynamic. It's not about Lindor being a bad guy.
Yeah.
I look at every possible dynamic. Where do I win if I'm Lindor? I don't. Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York, 800-919-3776. Has Lindor lived up to the contract?
I say yes.
I say not in the spirit of it. No. 800-919-3776. Get involved. We are opening the phones right now. Unlock them. Let's go. So now would be the time to dial at 800-919-3776. Just getting started. We've got plenty of NFL draft today. We've got the Sims Spotlight today, where we will get to some of the receivers that Phil is excited about and some of the pass rushers as well. And he has today, thanks to Maggie, a very, very interesting comp that as a Jet fan, you really have to take into consideration. That, I think, is going to be a very interesting discussion a little bit later on. A pregnant woman slept with identical twins. She does not know who the father is. What do you do there? That's the conundrum. It's all there. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
Real talk for a second, right? If you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, sciatica, or joint pain, and you've just tired of having to push through it, I've been there. It's help. That's why I want to tell you guys about Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain. This is not a place that gives you surgery. It's not a place that gives you a bunch of pills and say, call me later place. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he focuses on non-surgical, image-guided treatments that actually fix the problem. No downtime, no scars, no long recovery. They got same-day and next-day appointments. Offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, so it's one closer to you. Check them out, SandwellPain.com. Stop dealing with pain and start doing something about it.
The New York City Department of Correction offers countless career opportunities, from specialized units to leadership roles that support public safety and change lives for the better. It starts with one step: registering for the New York City Correction Officer exam. Earn over $109,000 after just 5.5 years. Benefits on day one, job security, pension at any age after 22 years of service. Go to nyc.gov/joinDOC or search Join DOC. One career, many opportunities. Register today to take the test.
Heavy traffic in Queens on the LIE eastbound by Utopia Parkway. It's an accident blocking the right lane. In the Bronx, finally improvement on the westbound Cross Bronx southbound 95 at Alexander Hamilton Bridge. An accident. Truck has been cleared finally from the right lane. Had been out there for hours. And we've got Ocean Avenue at Avenue O in Brooklyn. That's crash investigation still going. Westchester County and the town of Fairview, northbound Route 100A closed at Old Tarrytown Road because of a car utility pole accident. It's about 10 to 15 minutes in from New Jersey at the GW Bridge. You're better at the Lincoln or Holland Tunnels. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
Let me say this. If you're an experienced superintendent in Jersey and you know you're better than the situation that you're in, Tricon Construction wants to talk. They're building serious multifamily, medical, and industrial projects across the state, and they're looking for leaders, not babysitters, real projects, real support, real backing from ownership. If you're ready to step into something bigger, go to triconbuilds.com/careers. That's triconbuilds.com/careers. And yes, it's confidential.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite awards show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Baseball fans, FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. Judge, Ohtani, Schwarber, Raleigh. There are so many names for you to choose from. Head over to FanDuel.com/local to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a home run. FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB. 21 plus and physically present in New York. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
If you love great food and smart prices, you need to know about Wild Fork Foods. Right now, beef tenderloin is only $10 a pound, and Atlantic salmon portions are just $9.98 a pound. That's serious value on awesome quality cuts. Plus, Wild Fork offers over 450 meat and seafood options, all blast frozen to lock in freshness and flavor. Visit one of their 7 stores across Long Island and New Jersey, or get same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Evan Cohen here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
If you're not following Bart on Instagram, like, only Bart would be in Lagos. Is he in Lagos, Nigeria? Is that where he is?
According to his Instagram story, should we text him? What time is it?
I think they're probably 5 or 6 hours ahead, so it's not like the middle of the night. If you're looking at Bart's Instagram, he is over there, and I don't even know how to describe it. it's not like he's in this incredible lap of luxury. I would love to see a world travel show with Bart.
This would be the sizzle reel, as they say in the industry, like the little teaser.
Because Bart's over there, and there are these little kids who are like painting a wall, and they're putting up all kinds of art, and Bart's over there in Jordans that are half the gross national product of the country, and he's just there connecting with these kids and hanging out and having a great time. And Bart would have been an amazing. I don't know if you remember this show that used to be on E called Wild On.
Do I remember? It's my formative years.
Yes, exactly. It was Brooke Burke. And there was like another goofy guy. Like Bart would have been an amazing host for Wild On.
You know what? This is like a little bit of a side commentary, and then I want to say something about Bart from when the three of us were doing our show together that I just remembered right now. Brooke Burke, though, I used to watch that show at a very formative time in my life. Howard Stern was on, right? Mm-hmm. They used to do the live stream. Not live stream. They did like the simulcast of Howard Stern. So between how the Stern show kind of generally treated certain women at that time, and then Brooke Burke, I was like, you're nothing if you're not wearing a bikini in this world. You can't get a break in this world unless you are on a beach or naked for Howard Stern. Anyway, I just remembered something about Bart. Do you remember when we were doing the show together, we once challenged Bart to wear a new pair of sneakers every single day from his closet?
Yeah.
And we would just want to see how many he had?
Yeah.
I think we got to like 60 days in a row.
We did get to 2 months worth.
It was like a financial quarter. We went through Q1, and Bart had a new pair of shoes every single day. It was amazing.
It was amazing. But just
he's on a spiritual journey right now, though.
He really is.
Yeah.
But here's the great thing about Bart. For Bart to go on a spiritual journey, dude doesn't need ayahuasca.
No.
Aaron Rodgers needs ayahuasca. He needs something to enlighten him. Bart can get enlightened by anything because he lives in a world of such wonderment in such a great and positive way.
Wait, did you just say that to me or to over the air? I can't tell.
To both of you. Could you imagine Bart going down to like Peru with Aaron Rodgers and going on an ayahuasca journey for like a week and a half?
Oh, my God. No.
Bart would leave there the shaman, though.
Yes, he would.
Did. Follow me to enlightenment.
Yeah, listen, I mean this in every positive way possible. I think if anybody went on a trip with him overseas and he was just planning to see a lot of things that he had never even thought of seeing in his life.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what this trip was, the way he described it. He's going with a couple of other friends, and they were... And as Bart puts it, well, maybe we'll do some of our hood rat stuff. But
what could that possibly be? Yeah, okay.
But he's also like, we're going to go just take a lot of it in.
Yeah.
And really get a feel for Africa and what it's like. He went to a lot of different places. And I can't imagine not having an amazing time going with him somewhere.
No. I mean, it's fun.
We had an amazing time with him in Tampa.
I was going to say, Tampa rocks with Bart Scott. It really does. We went to some fun places. No, it's cool. You should follow him on Instagram because he's really doing a good job of keeping you updated. He should have a travel show.
He came into the. I don't remember if you were here or not.
Okay.
But it was last week. He came into the suite at MSG, and John is looking at me. We were supposed to be there at 7:00 to meet with clients and partners of ESPN New York and hang out and watch the game. 7:40. We're close to tip, and Bart's not there. And John kind of looks at me like, what am I going to do here? Where is he? Should I call him? And I'm like, are you surprised? Like, you're not new. And then Bart walks in, and John's birthday was Thursday. This was Tuesday night. Bart walks in, puts his hands around John's neck from behind. Happy birthday. We're going to make some bad decisions tonight. And then just took over the room.
Yeah, he does that.
And I look at John. I'm like, are you not entertained?
Yeah. Do you remember, now we're just doing fun Bart stories, and he's not here, but we did a dinner in Tampa, And I'm forgetting now the Yankee. And he
Gerald
passed away.
Williams.
It was Gerald Williams.
Yeah.
And what a kind,
very nice guy,
gentleman he was. And it was a promotion where you could win a dinner with Gerald Williams and a bunch of listeners, and it was super fun. But Gerald Williams is, I mean, a prince of a dude, and I know he and Jeter were really close.
Yep.
Kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Like a little on the quiet side. There must have been a table of 35, 40 people at this table. We were in like a back room at a restaurant in Tampa. Bart took over.
Yep.
It was Bart's story hour. And he saved the dinner kind of, and no disrespect to Gerald, and he was fabulous, but he wasn't like super gregarious in that moment. He was just a little more reserved and shy. And Bart is not that. And everyone had such a good time.
Well, I asked him about it again last week after that.
Yeah.
And I just said, like, do you realize that you have this effect? He's
Yeah,
like,
he
oh,
does.
yeah. No, he's like, and I kind of said, do you have to psych yourself into it before you walk in that room? Like, I'm about to flip the switch.
What, he's like going through the tunnel about to play the Patriots?
Exactly.
No.
And he's like, yeah, kind of.
Oh, really?
He's like, I don't psych myself into it, but I know when I walk into this room, I'm going to make other people feel better about themselves right away. That's what my job is to do right now.
And what's your strategy when you walk into a room, Carlin?
Where is the food? Yeah.
Not
no
anymore.
joke. Like I was like, and I'm not kidding. Like it's not a food joke. Like I was really hungry when I walked into that suite. But I would so much like to be that. And it never even strikes me to think that way.
You light up a room, Carlin.
I don't light up a room.
Well, your head's kind of bald and gets a little
It's
shiny,
big.
so you light it up. It's like ambient lighting.
Yes. But the personality
can
is
you
like ambient.
No, it's like, can you come over and just stand here? So
Yeah,
we get
just
a little
stand here
more
because
light?
I can't. I'm trying to read something.
You know what? You should. You know what the thing is? You don't give yourself enough credit, though, because I've been with you when you've been an MC. Events.
That I could
You're
do.
on the mic. You've done. I've seen you host game shows. I've seen you do auctions. You're good, man.
Well, that's just more of, I think I told you this. I can do that. The first time I met my in-laws, and they were not my in-laws, Cheryl and I were dating,
Yeah, it's always nerve-wracking.
and I was completely exhausted because it was a Rutgers game the day before in Maryland and drove home through the rain. Sunday morning, I showed up to her apartment, and I was just dead to the world.
Yeah.
And she's like, we're not going to breakfast with my parents with you like this. I can't have this. And I said, don't worry. The red light comes on. I'll show up. Showed up. We get there. Boom. Ebullient. Effervescent. And then afterward, drop her off. And she's like, what the hell just happened? And I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, like Will Ferrell in that debate scene from Old School.
Exactly.
I
I blacked out.
No, when the curtain goes up, Carlin's always ready to roll.
It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN on the Mets. And if Lindor, when you see days like yesterday, has Lindor truly lived up to the contract? And is he going to be part of the solution? We'll get to some of the comments over on the ESPN New York.
I've got one. Can I read it?
Please.
This is from LG. Lindor is good, just not for the first month, every single season. No. LG, I see where you're coming from, and thank you for that. But yesterday was different. Forgetting how many outs there are.
Yeah.
Getting picked off at first when Soto, we don't know that he's about to hit a home run, but he gets up and hits a home run right after you, and you would have had 2 runs on the board. You end up losing 2-1 in this game. Like, these little things matter. I'll give you Lindor doesn't hit in April. That's fine. And even with the hamate bone, I'll even give him more grace because of that. He, is coming back from a surgery that kept him out of the World Baseball Classic. But I can't do the mental errors.
No.
We're too far into this thing. The guy's a multiple-time Gold Glover.
No, absolutely not. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Serious question. Is there a time difference on the moon?
Something is going to be established by the end of 2026.
Yes, that's the coordinated lunars.
So there you go.
The U.S. government is meeting with the NFL Players Association about what time it'll be on the moon.
18
the moon game.
On the moon.
They're going to have the press conference where they're dressed like astronauts. Goodell's going to have the helmet on your ear.
So this is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Space package on Fubo.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
Wow, that's a lot of distractions. Why don't you just focus on the road?
Relax, I'm a great driver.
What about other drivers? Not everyone's a great driver.
I can watch out for them. I'll be fine.
Watch out! In 2023, more than 3,200 people died due to distracted drivers. Keep your eyes on the road. This message brought to you by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Hey, New York and New Jersey. Commitment issues? No problem. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever, as in for life. Switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, you may experience slower speeds. Pay $25 a month as long as you stay on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Join DiPietro and Rothenberg Thursday, April 23rd for a special couch cast of round one of the NFL Draft. Presented by Calandra's Bakery. The Jets and Giants have 3 picks in the top 16, and Rick and Dave will react live as the first round unfolds. From the big decisions to the big-time drama. Catch it all in this YouTube-only exclusive, and it's all from Calandra's Bakery and your home for football talk. ESPN New York.
This Yankee rotation is going to be ridiculous. It's just going to absolutely be absurd when you see what Cam Schlittler can do. And, I mean, are we buying into it fully yet? Because I am.
Oh, I am. I'm ready to make some really big statements about what I've seen so far about this Yankees rotation. Because think about it. They're not even whole yet. With Garrett Cole still on the mend, with Carlos Rodon still on the mend. But what you've seen, we can work backwards. From Schlittler yesterday, and now has 11 2/3 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, has not issued a walk yet. And again, doing this against the Mariners, okay? So the Cal Raleighs and the Arozarenas, and we know that the Mariners are legit. First Yankee, to begin the season with back-to-back starts with 5 scoreless innings pitched and at least 7 strikeouts. I mean, think about Yankee history. When you're making these kinds of moments for yourself, with a franchise as storied as the Yankees. Like, you got to pay attention here. I started to think about this a little bit because Fried has been excellent also. You got Fried, who has 3 top 5 Cy Young finishes in his career and has also won a World Series, obviously, with the Braves. You've got Garrett Cole, who already won a Cy Young. And now you've got Cam Schlittler, who looks like he's on a different planet and might end up, is it possible that he becomes even the best of the bunch when all's said and done? The guy was in AAA last year. Is this the best, potentially, the best Yankees rotation since, you want to go back to Cone and Wells?
And Pettit and those
How about
guys? I mean,
CeCe and A.J. Burnett?
I mean,
listen, 98 was amazing, but if they start playing like this, they're 5-1 to start the year. They're doing it on the road, by the way, which is, I think, a little extra impressive.
Here's what I like about it. They're doing it a much different way. And I don't even know that was always the intention. I think things happen sometimes for a reason. Like, them not getting Soto back, I think, happened for a reason, and they end up getting Max Fried.
Steve Cohen's money.
Yeah, exactly. And so with that, like, you end up in a better position because of it. I'm not comparing the two things, but whenever I think of that kind of thing, when things happen for a reason, the Reds,
my therapist says this all the time.
My therapist says I'm usually the reason, and she's right.
Yeah,
but
yours is more honest.
But the point is that when you look at those kind of things,
Knicks fans.
Oh, we'll get to the Knicks. Not their fans so much. You guys are fine.
I mean this in a respectful way. We talk about the common denominator. Sometimes when we have some little technical issues, Joe Leo might be a common denominator.
Hey, Joe.
I will say, I know what happened. That was not a Joe Leo issue.
It was not a Joe.
That was
Joe,
not
then
a
I
Joe Leo
apologize.
issue.
No.
Our system decided to randomly throw the brake on its own.
Blame Artemis.
We're
in the moon now, guys. Like, who knows?
What the hell is it with this? AI just decides when we're going to break now? Is that the deal?
Oh, Claude is deciding?
Yeah. ChatGPT. Like, seriously, like, how does that happen? How does that happen?
Well, back to the Yankees. I think that you're right about this. I think Bronx Bombers, and that's symbolized because of another, was this meant to happen when the Yankees did not get Shohei Ohtani and pivoted to Giancarlo Stanton. And it's kind of impossible not to look at the Yankees with those guys, Judge and Stanton, like they're going to hit their way to a championship.
I was going to point to the Red Sox not getting A-Rod when that became available, and the Yankees ended up getting him, but the Red Sox got Schilling, and they ended up winning the World Series in 2004. But the Yankees, end up with A-Rod after Aaron Boone tears up his knee.
It's just
things happen for a reason.
These things that happen, and the idea that the Yankees could hit their way to a World Series, especially with Judge winning these MVPs and Stanton becoming this great postseason hitter and all of that. But a funny thing happened on the way, which is you've now created this incredible rotation. And maybe it's by accident. Brian Cashman would probably not say that. He would probably say it's more by design. But you might have just created the monster you actually need to beat the Dodgers or whoever.
And I think I think that has always been the way that they have won the most. They did not have always the most ridiculously talented lineup in every way. They had the guys who were really, really good players, who were clutch players, but they also had a great rotation. And that's something that has always gotten away from me with analytics and all that stuff, as much as they have tried to downplay starting pitching in that.
Yep.
I still think it's the most valuable thing that you can have.
Well,
and if that's why you ended up with Max Fried, great.
Yeah, so be it. And if it ends up with Fried and Cole, and we've already seen Cam Schlittler be nails in the postseason, so you know that he's got a little of that. And then we'll see again what happens with Rodon. And then you got Bednar, at the back end of as the closer. He's not Mo, he's not Goose Gossage, but I think he's good enough, no doubt. And I think the other thing, too, about the Yankees now is we're talking about them, can they actually pitch their way to a World Series as opposed to them trying to hit their way to a World Series all these years? We can quibble about Aaron Boone and whether he should still have this job. Or not quibble, we can knock down, drag him out, have a fight if we think that Aaron Boone is a plus or a minus for this team. But you know what? What a great rotation does? Kind of takes a lot of decisions out of his hands. Because if you actually have 3 guys or 4 who can give you 6, and I know you don't want to go through the rotation too many times in the postseason, whatever. If you have aces on your staff that you trust to go 6 or 7 in a postseason game, well, then Aaron Boone doesn't really have to patchwork together bullpen games. He doesn't have to make all these decisions, the front office, the analytics. You just let your talent do the talking. And I think that could really benefit the New York Yankees. And whether this was by design or whether they fell into it because of the pivots that they had to make after they didn't get certain guys, I think this is the best possible strategy for the Yankees. Your rotation will get you home.
We had Jeff Passan on last week, and when we were talking about the whole idea for the fans who were critical of the running it back thing, it's like, well, is running it back really a terrible thing when you won 95 games and you're going to be back in the same position, and then you're potentially adding this to the rotation later with Cole coming back? I'll continue to kind of beat this drum. I hope that it's all that smooth. We do know at some point there are going to be some bumpy moments in terms of injuries or anything like that, especially with pitching. So if this ends up being the group, and you're talking about Fried, Cole, Rodon, and Schlittler being 4 guys to start in the postseason, I think they could beat the Dodgers. I mean, like, I don't know how anybody in the American League would beat them if those are the 4 guys and all 4 are healthy.
No doubt. And again, this is going to be the big question for the Yankees is what do you do in innings like 6, 7, 8? Well, can help take care of that a little bit if you have guys going deep into games, right?
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be, like the Mets 5-inning Freddie, where your ace of the staff only goes 5 innings. Like, you can really lean on these guys. And so I'm curious, especially now, they're off to a 5-1 start. Yankees take care of San Francisco and now have a good series against the Mariners and a really good series. And the pitching has been the thing. And Aaron Judge isn't even hitting yet. And they are still looking this good. I mean, to start out the year, these are really good omens. Listen, been doing this for a while now. There's always a rush to go, oh, is this the new 98? 98 Yankees. Is this that special of a group? Way too early to say, but if you're looking at that 98 rotation of Wells, David Cone, El Duque, Andy Pettitte, Arabu, I don't know how deep you want to go in the rotation, but if you want to go to those guys, this could end up being on par with 98, maybe better.
I think you just called Ryan Weathers a fat pussy toad. I think that just happened. It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York. Maggie Gray is in for Bart this week.
Fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Time to bench those other hiring sites and let ZipRecruiter help you build a winning team. With ZipRecruiter, when you need to hire, you get to hire the right fit for any role fast. That's because ZipRecruiter's smart matching technology starts showing your job to qualified candidates immediately. You can also apply filters and add screening questions to your job post to help you save time in scouting first-rate talent. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can instantly unlock contact info from a roster of top candidates. That's why over 4.8 million businesses have trusted ZipRecruiter to hire. And check this out. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site in the game, based on G2. So, if you need to score the best, go with ZipRecruiter. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, So knowing the person and the skills behind the resume matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
You know, listen, it's the Grizzlies. Not going to get too worked up about it. It was a nice win. But what really is going to be very interesting is watching what happens with the Knicks over the coming weeks and how much we spent time yesterday with the dynamic change that has really happened in the Eastern Conference. It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York, over on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, where you should be commenting and taking part in the show. People are already taking exception to the 98 Yankees thing. Don't compare that to the 98 Yankees. All right, lighten up, Francis.
Well, George would be rolling over in his grave, as we always know. No, I ask you, this rotation could be on par with the 98 Yankees. Take a look at what's in front of your eyes. Fried, bona fide Cy Young candidate. Cole already won a Cy Young. Cam Schlittler looks like he might be the best of the bunch.
So you brought this up this morning when we were talking about where some of the blame is going to shift here. And I'm still, yes, I do question whether or not the first round is such a given as I thought it was not 2 to 3 weeks ago with how they have played inconsistently. I still feel somewhat optimistic about what this season could be. But it is going to be very interesting to watch who gets blamed if this does not come together the way that we are anticipating it. Is it going to be Towns? Is it going to be Mike Brown? And then you brought this up, and it's the guy that we just do not see a whole lot of just because he doesn't talk. Where does Leon Rose fit in all of this?
Listen, I think with James Dolan as the owner, I think there's only so long that you get. Even when you have presided over, let's be fair to Leon Rose, one of the great turnarounds of one of the most important sports franchises that exist, not just in the NBA. I think the Knicks are that important just in the ecosystem of sports. And they were irrelevant for far too long. So give credit to Leon Rose for bringing him back in and getting him to a place in the Eastern Conference Finals that they couldn't even dream about, even when they had Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire or whatever. This has been ultimately a success. However, I think there's a lot of blame that you lay at the feet of Leon Rose. Because one of the best moves that he has made, Jalen Brunson, well, that's because of like a personal connection where Jalen Brunson took like under market value and is really doing the team first friendly thing. Some of the other stuff around him, you know, we can go to Mikal Bridges and the 5 first-round picks and then doubling down with the money. And we can go through some of, you know, Karl Anthony Towns. Like, Towns has talent, obviously, but it's far too inconsistent. And I think that, especially on the offensive end, and I think Knicks fans are going to be left wondering if things go sideways this year. Brunson and Towns together, how does that work? Is there a coach on earth that can make that work, considering some of both of their, you know, how they play and some of their deficiencies? And I know they got all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. But then, you know, I start looking at other things with Leon Rose. It's been good, but not perfect. You know, could have had Tyrese Halliburton, took Obi Toppin. We all know about, you know, the Donovan Mitchell trade. Was that there for the taking? Was it not? You know, and now is he going to be judged on whether or not they can actually land Giannis if this thing goes sideways. And here's another part that I think Leon Rose does deserve some blame for. You know, Tom Thibodeau got labeled as not that collaborative of a dude, right? Yeah. I think I'm putting it mildly. My way or the highway. I'm going to be involved in I'm determining my rotations. Get your notebooks and your nerds out of here. I'll do it. I think Mike Brown has been the more collaborative guy. So what you Knicks fans and us Knicks fans, or however you want to put it, are complaining about now is this starting five has gotten stale. And how much is that just Mike Brown who's making those decisions? Or how much does Leon Rose also have his hand here and the whole front office, I'll say?
You know, I want to hear this real quick before I respond to that from Monica McNutt the other day on Don Hahn and Rosenberg. And I just happened to see this cut on the board. And it says something is off with this Knicks team. And I want to see what she kind of has to say in relation to that, because I got some strong feelings about what you just said.
There is something that is obvious that demonstrates a lack of cohesiveness, right? Now, whichever side you are on in terms of who's responsible, the real ability to be a good team is to figure out how we pull in the same direction. And that doesn't mean that we're all best friends, right? But it means that who we are is clear, and we have questioned this team's identity from a basketball standpoint all season long. So that's still a question that's being answered at this point in the season. And then how we go about our business, whether you like it or not, because we've all covered the league for a while, and as much as we want to say, you guys have a chance to do something really special, there's still egos at play, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we know what we're doing, and we know the best formula to do it. And this team, to me, has not answered those questions this year well consistently at all.
So here's what's interesting about that with what you were just talking about. She talks about they don't all have to be best friends. This leads you to believe that they're not all best friends.
Yeah, which is funny because 3 of them were roommates.
Exactly. But you've got one of them that really wasn't part of that mix that was brought in, but certainly the people that brought him in knew what his personality was. Leon Rose used to be Karl Anthony Towns' agent. And
Jersey guys.
Yep. And Thibodeau certainly had him up in Minnesota.
Yep.
Is it unfair of me to suggest that Towns is the problem? Not just from what's gone on to how they played so much softer, I would say. I would say they don't have as much of an edge as they used to, and I think a lot of us attribute that to him. Fairly, unfairly, I don't know. And also that we find ourselves incredibly frustrated with him not wanting to take charge of situations and either demanding the ball when he's not getting it enough or just simply being tougher. So the point
is that an ecosystem though? Like,
I guess my point is like with your Rose thing.
Yeah, should he have known?
Yeah, like that's not just the basketball part. Is he going to fit here with these guys?
Well, I think that's a couple things, right? Listen, you look at the talent of Karl Anthony Towns. How are you not tantalized, right? Like how?
Of course.
How are you not looking at him and saying he's a freak? Like, he's awesome. You know, not an athletic freak, but he is super talented, and there's been times when he's totally saved the Knicks bacon. So I can't just say he's a zero by any stretch. What I think may have happened if you're talking about personalities, I think they believe that Jalen Brunson and maybe Rick Brunson, you know, Jalen's dad, who's definitely got a big voice on this team and certainly on the staff. He's the guy who got to stay once Thibodeau was fired. I think they believed, all right, we'll toughen him up. It'll be, you know, Jalen with Josh Hart, like these two guys together will kind of, as the sort of backbone of the team. And I'm not saying Josh Hart is as talented as Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns. He's not. But the other factors, right, like the hustle factors and all of the defense and stuff like that, we will toughen him up. Our culture now will toughen him up. And I don't know.
I think when a guy shows you who he is, you got to believe him. And it's not like Towns was that young of a player.
Well, people have said he's not a winner, which I don't know if that's even fair.
I don't know if it is either, but does it strike you that when Towns is in the game, you don't love your situation defensively, and offensively, he's the number 2 option. So I don't understand how we end up in situations where he ends up with 9 shots in a game.
Sure.
I don't know how we get there. And is that more about Jalen Brunson's not getting the ball enough and we're playing a little too much ISO and it's 1-4 and everybody's standing around, which definitely happens?
Yeah.
Or is it Towns not demanding the ball more in spots where he clearly has mismatches and should be doing that?
Or is it when your opponent, when you get into a playoff series, kind of sees how to, take away his effectiveness?
Leon Rose to me is fascinating because we don't hear from him at all, and the Knicks want it that way. They have made that very clear. So you never really get a sense of what he's possibly thinking in any of it. And so that's where I do wonder if, let's just argue for a minute.
Yeah.
That the decision to move on from Tibbs was ultimately made by the owner last year, okay? Does that mean that the owner will shift his ire toward the GM, or does that mean that the owner will shift his ire toward the players? And I'm more likely to believe at the moment that because of how the GM has been able to turn this around, that it would be more toward a couple of the players. And in specific, can I genuinely look at Leon Rose making a trade for Karl Anthony Towns, giving up Julius Randle in that deal, and say that was the wrong thing to do because of what the talent is? I can't. Because I don't know about you, I never felt like they were going to win a championship with Julius Randle as one of the centerpieces of the team.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Randle that extension first, though, right? It's a fascinating question to try to get into the mind of where James Dolan may be thinking might be tough to do. Because here's the thing, and this is why coaches get fired so much more easily. How are you going to move Karl Anthony Towns? Do you really, is Milwaukee, is this the pie in the sky that he's going to be part of a Giannis trade and that's just going to happen? I mean, why? I don't know if you can just automatically say, well, you're going to move Bridges now after you put so much in terms of draft capital and money. It's harder to undo some of these player moves and much easier to just say, we need a new vision. This guy's got to go.
We're hitting calls, 800-919-3776 in just moments, 800-919-ESPN. First, though, ESPN New York is teaming up with Calandra's Bakery to give away a pair of tickets to see the Knicks take on Charlotte. That's Sunday, April 12th. It is easy to enter. Just stop by Calandra's Bakery, 234 Bloomfield Avenue in Caldwell, New Jersey, before April 7th to enter in person. It's brought to you by Calandra's Bakery in Caldwell, home of fresh bread, classic Italian pastries, and traditions baked daily. Let's hit Derek in Hillside on ESPN New York to start us off this hour. Derek, what's going on, dude? How are you?
I'm great, man. How you doing, man?
Good.
Doing great. How you doing, Maggie? Nice to meet you. Finally get to talk to you. You guys, we're talking about the Knicks. Carlin, you already know how I felt about the Knicks and who's to blame. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Wait, are you
You're
at the
still on.
I think he's at the drive-thru.
I got you guys.
Are you at the drive-thru?
Or are you just switching over to Bluetooth?
No. I had to connect back to the car. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But, yeah. So Carlin already knows my take on how I feel about the Knicks, who's to blame. And to me, it can't be Carl. Like, the guy who's leading the league in double-doubles and who's been trying to fit into this new scheme that Mike Brown is trying to install. We have to understand Mike Brown has never had any type of success with any big man in his coaching career. He hasn't even established the identity of this team, and we're about to approach playoffs soon. And on top of the fact, we always talk about Bridges, how he's not being consistent enough, and the problem with Josh Hart, Brunson not being a true playmaker all the time. It's a multitude of things, but the thing that we can't blame is the GM. He has done a great job of trying to give the Knicks some pieces, but we got to look at the coaching.
Wait, but hold on, Derek. Can I just say something, though? Who hired the coach?
Yes.
Who hired the coach?
The GM.
The GM. So, and listen, I know that.
Who fired the previous coach, though, the owner, and which I always told Carlin and Bart that they should have never fired Tom Thibodeau.
Well, okay, but that wasn't necessarily, I may agree with you, but that wasn't necessarily a no-brainer to fire Tom Thibodeau. Like, the fan base was really split on that. I think there were a lot of people who wanted him gone.
Yep.
Because the minutes, the tight rotations, all of that stuff. We talked about a lot of this. If you're talking about Mike Brown and it just seems like now being here sitting in with you, Carlin, from yesterday and a little bit today, seems like the fan base is had it with Mike Brown, and he's the one who's getting the blame. Well, who's the one who put him in the chair? Leon Rose did. And if you thought you had Jason Kidd in the back pocket, well, then it's your job to know that he was playing you like a fiddle.
I totally believe Kidd was playing him because he had and not that he would not have gone to them, but he was using it for his leverage in Dallas because when they obviously made the trade to send away Luka, that gave Kidd an opportunity to say, get me the hell out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. And they realized that we couldn't have that kind of a complete meltdown of an organization, so they did what they did with Kidd and gave him the extension and gave him a lot more money. So, and by the way, you got Cooper Flagg, too. That didn't hurt.
I mean, that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like, tip of the hat to the NBA.
Yeah.
But, and I wonder, too, I'd love to know the true story, because I think Mark Cuban recently came out and said Jason Kidd knew a little more about that Luka trade than we first let on. But maybe again.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me.
But maybe again, does he see a situation where he's like, everyone's blaming Nico Harrison, as they should, and I'm the one who's, looking good here. I got to use this to get as much money as possible.
Oh, absolutely.
And he did.
Oh, no.
But going back to Leon Rose and why I think that he will get blamed or should be blamed if this Knicks season goes into the toilet is because he put Mike Brown there. There were other guys. No one wanted Mike Malone because he's too much like Thibodeau. The Boston Celtics have pulled coaches out of God knows where. First with Brad Stevens, and now with Joe Mazzulla, who didn't even have a front row seat. He was sitting in the second row behind all the coaches, and they realized that he was the right guy.
And Ime Udoka, for that matter, too, when he was first there.
And Udoka, and he's had some stuff happen, yada, 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 and now Udoka. But,
No, but I mean, that aside, we're not saying he was. We're saying he was a good coach that they found.
Obviously, and and his Rockets just beat the Nets the other day. So,
Maggie, off the court stuff is not important to me. Offending women, not a big deal.
I mean, obviously, Me Too is long gone. But here's the thing. They decided on Mike Brown, right? They're the ones who, and Leon Rose is the one who signed off on it. So if you're a Knicks fan and you're ticked off about it, well, okay, but that also falls as a check mark in the negative column for Rose.
Here's a couple of more of the comments that are coming in on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. This is from 461 Yayas.
Yeah, that's my stage name. Sorry, that's me. No, I'm kidding.
Remember, Mike Brown was their fourth option at coach since all the coaches they wanted were already on teams. Yeah, the one thing I never understood, though, is why they didn't knock on the Michael Malone door when that happened in the moment.
I think they thought he was probably too much of a like Tibbs in terms of personality, and I don't know how collaborative he was with the front office. I have no idea. But here's the part about that. He's their fourth option. Okay, well, it's one thing to execute a coaching search when you maybe have guys who are not even available, right? It's like, this is like when every college football coach gets fired. It's like, oh, call Nick Saban. It's like, he's not coming.
Yeah.
Okay? He's not coming. Like, everyone gets fired. Call Belichick, back when Belichick actually had a good reputation.
Yeah.
It's not happening, right? Or whatever. And were you actually swimming in a coaching pool with guys who were available? Because if you're not, then it was a fugazi search.
A couple of more of the comments before we get to more calls at 800-919-3776. People act like Karl Anthony Towns is a bum. That's from our guy Black Metronome. Unless people want Cat bringing the ball up and initiating the offense, the onus is on the guards to get him the ball. Of course the onus is on the guards to get him the ball, but we understand that this is not a point guard of traditional sense when it comes to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody would argue that Jalen Brunson is overall the Knicks' best player. So it does have to be a scenario where you're going to have a big man who has mismatches and is going to have to call for the ball. And I almost think that would be respected a little bit more by teammates. I don't think that there's a complete lack of respect for Towns across the board. I just don't know how, when I hear Monica, maybe it's unfair, but Towns is a guy I immediately mentally go to. Does he fit in?
Oh, interesting. So she mentioned egos, right? And she knows more than anyone, right? She's around this team. She's just plugged in. Monica's the best. If she's saying, yeah, guys don't have to be best friends, and, even if you have all this talent, there's still egos. To me, I don't immediately go to Towns because I'm going to be honest. Do Towns and Brunson, do they have a bad relationship?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's a bad relationship. I don't think there's a bad piece of this. Guys aren't. I don't think anybody's at each other's throats.
The Lindor Soto situation.
You know what's funny? Whenever we're talking about it in the present, about guys don't have to be best friends to be on winning teams. Usually we're talking about situations where those teams are not winning in the moment and guys are not best friends.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes they may not have to be best friends, but sometimes they need to figure out how to get along and coexist together. And I'm not saying they can't, but Towns is just so immensely frustrating with the body language. He has cut down a little bit on the complaining to the officials. That's never worked against him. With the dumb offensive fouls, all that stuff just combines to rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, the funny part is the irony of this whole thing is that the Knicks got so much credit because they were valuing these interpersonal relationships, which is why you have three guys who are best friends who are on the team, and you basically moved heaven and earth and got completely robbed to bring the third one here in Bridges when you had to give away 5 first-round picks.
Let's hit Jared in New York up next on ESPN New York. Jared, what's going on, dude? How are you?
Hey, guys. Listen, the bedwetting about the Knicks has got to stop, okay? Firstly, they have the same exact record as they did last year, all right? So the coaching's been fine. Moreover, they've won more games against above 500 teams and playoff teams this year than they did last year, all right?
Not recently.
Number 2.
Yeah, that's true.
In the last 3 weeks of the season where the NBA is basically tank or position for seeding? I don't know where this comes from, okay? These guys are waiting for the playoffs, clearly. The Cat issue isn't a Cat issue. Cat is not being utilized right. When your point guard doesn't get him in the right position, I love Jalen Brunson just as much as the next person, but you have to run players. Did you watch the game last night? Did you see how the Knicks played? I know it was Memphis. You see how many people scored baskets? You see how many people got shots? That is how basketball is meant to be played. The heliocentric superstar, I shoot 30 shots a game, that doesn't work. Jalen needs to be Jalen in the fourth quarter and be a point guard and a leader. That is his role on the team.
Can I ask this question, though? Can I ask this question, though, Jared?
Yeah.
When Cat isn't getting the ball on certain nights, and Jalen's not doing it, yes, the onus is on Jalen to do it, but isn't the onus also on Cat to say something?
Chris, I totally agree that he needs to be more demonstrative, but I'm going to put that A on coaching and B on schematics, right?
No, that's on personality. That's not schematics. I mean, for him to be more demonstrative is I get what you're saying.
No.
On coaching to get him the ball.
I'm saying the coaches need to run more sets for him to get touches early. And yes, I agree. He needs to demand the ball. He should be a player who does that. But it's not his fault that he's getting 3 or 4 shots a game in the first half in most games. That can't be all him. There's something else there.
So here's the other thing, Jared, about whether or not, this is just a blip because they're just coasting until the playoffs anyway. This is the same team, obviously minus the coach. But you didn't think that Josh Hart saying this is a bad trend, this is alarming? If this was just, hey, everybody, we're just kind of twiddling our thumbs until the playoffs get here, which, by the way, I don't think there's that wouldn't be shocking, right? It wouldn't be too devastating. But, he's calling it out, right? He's obviously seeing something here. And this happened last year. Remember, they started tweaking with a little bit of the rotations right before the playoffs. And they're uh-oh, is this maybe they actually need to do a little bit more of that in these last, 6 games left of the regular season? Perhaps, to see what else is going on. And it's a little late in the year to be doing it, but maybe you need to start tweaking with the starting lineup. And I don't think Josh Hart is going to be so devastated if he has to come off the bench.
Dave in the car is up next. Dave, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to just throw out my opinion on the Knicks. I love to hear your feedback. I think last year was their opportunity. I think this edition of the Knicks is not going to win a championship. And I think we need to look at the blame more collectively in the organization. If Cat was a Celtic right now, with the offense they've run, his numbers would be way off the charts. Okay? It's not only him. No one really highlights the liability that Brunson is on defense because he turned the organization around. He's a scorer. He's a clutch guy. But as a defensive player, he is a liability for the Knicks. And the answer next year is not just getting Giannis, because this group, if you bring Giannis into that locker room who's won a championship and who plays hard defensively and offensively, there's some guys in there he doesn't want to ball with unless they step their game up. He's the type of player who would get in Brunson's face and be like, you got to step your defensive game up. I love 25-30 a night, but that's not getting the ring. That's my thought. This team needs to be broken up outside of Brunson, or possibly even a blockbuster deal. This team is not winning a championship.
Let me ask you a question, though, Dave. And it's rhetorical because I just cut you off because I don't really care about the answer.
They won an NBA Cup.
I respectfully, I do,
Oh,
but
sorry,
I think you know the answer. They won an NBA Cup. I love that line every time it comes up. With Brunson, when you have a player of his age and they are strictly an offensive player, and you say, you know what, he has to play more defense, how often does that actually happen? Those guys aren't changing.
No, but also I don't think that's an excuse enough for why the Knicks wouldn't be a winning team, because I've watched teams hide good offensive players who don't play defense all the time. Steph Curry is the first one that comes to mind where they hid him. No one's saying that Jokic is this amazing defender. They've won a title. I don't see that as an excuse. I think that's just how you have to be smarter about building your team and how you hide guys on defense. Not everybody's, Michael Jordan, who's amazing both ways.
Comments coming in over on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. You should be there and watching and subscribing and liking and doing the whole bit. NFL Draft coming up on Thursday, April 23rd. New York is on the clock. Jets pick 2nd and 16th. Giants pick 5th. Rick DiPietro, Dave Rothenberg are breaking it all down live. Join ESPN New York's Couchcast, your second screen for the NFL Draft. Real-time reactions, instant takes, everything New York fans care about. Watch along, react with us. Don't miss a single moment. It's ESPN New York's Couchcast on Draft Night, April 23rd at 8 p.m., presented by Calandra's Bakery. Maggie Gray is in for Bart on ESPN New York. On the ESPN New York app at noon, we have the Sims Spotlight. Phil Sims joins us as he does each and every week to discuss possible draft prospects for the Jets and for the Giants. We're going to look at some receivers today. We're going to look at some pass rushers today. And Phil has got a fantastic comp that I think Jet fans will find very interesting, thanks to Maggie asking for it. I didn't think to ask for it. Give me a comp for somebody in the league, but it's really an interesting comp for the Jets.
His answer is amazing.
For Ty Simpson. Yeah.
We got a little sneak preview. I have a follow-up question for Phil.
We will get to that in just a bit. And we also have Carlin's Corner Table today that involves the drive-through. Who doesn't love a drive-through? I mean, seriously, you think about top 5 innovations in
the world?
Yeah. 20th century. It's got to be up there.
I would say the yellow first down line, number 1.
Right. That's up there.
Cell phone 2.
Only
second to the yellow line, though.
Yeah.
That was genius.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
New York Knicks fans, here's a total slam dunk. For a limited time, new Verizon Mobile and home customers can get Fios and Alina Mobile for just $69.99 a month with AutoPay. Get Fios 300 megabits per second for $20 a month. And unlimited welcome for $50 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more. For new Fios Internet and mobile customers, discounts applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. Additional terms apply. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
The New York City Department of Correction offers countless career opportunities, from specialized units to leadership roles that support public safety and change lives for the better. It starts with one step: registering for the New York City Correction Officer exam. Earn over $109,000 after just 5.5 years. Benefits on day one, job security, pension at any age after 22 years of service. Go to nyc.gov/joindoc or search Join DOC. One career, many opportunities. Register today to take the test.
Life is motion, but for Jaime, debilitating pain in both hips brought everything, including family time, to a halt.
Every doctor told me the same thing. They would do one hip at a time.
At White Plains Hospital, Dr. Jacob Totka's unique expertise provided an alternate approach by replacing both of Jaime's hips on the same day.
In just 2 hours, I got 2 new hips, and I went home that day.
White Plains Hospital, among the best hospitals anywhere that just so happens to be here. A member of the Montefiore Health System.
Gold and silver prices are soaring and near all-time highs. If you want to get cash in your hands for your old jewelry, now is the time. Get the most competitive prices at the Estates Roadshow. Old rings, chains, and even broken jewelry. Don't wait. Cash in while gold and silver are hot. 3 locations this week: Staten Island, Old Bridge, and Toms River. Bring your gold, silver, coins, diamonds, and watches, even broken pieces, and get cash on the spot. There's never been a better time to sell. No appointments, no fees, no pressure. Just friendly professional buyers with over 35 years in the business. Go to the Estates Roadshow Monday through Friday in Staten Island at the Hilton Garden Inn, and Friday through Tuesday in Old Bridge at TMT Cash for Gold, the bright yellow building on Route 9 South, or TMT Cash for Gold in Toms River on Route 37, corner of Hooper Avenue, just off the Garden State. For more info, follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook or go to tmtcashforgold.com.
Knicks fans, it's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. Download the BetMGM app today and add a boost of excitement to every New York game day with same-day parlays, live betting options, player props, boosted odds specials, and the best daily promotions in the business. With the BetMGM app at your fingertips, you can experience the excitement of betting on your favorite players and get in on all the blue and orange action as your New York Knicks drive the lane. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the New York Knicks. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Harry Douglas here. Let me ask you something. What if you can enjoy the taste of a cocktail, the warmth of a spirit, and still stay fully in control? That's RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category. RK delivers bold flavor and a real warming sensation with 0 alcohol, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 0 calories. Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol.
Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your 6 figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year 1 needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, we've seen it all, and we're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box. Get started at hrblock.com.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Maggie Gray is in for Bart, ESPN New York YouTube channel, 800-919-3776. A lot of Knicks calls we've been getting in. Right now, though, 11:30, audio files. Let's go.
The audio file.
That's right. Tom Bauer is here, and he has got it for us. Thomas?
Hi there, hi there, hi there. I'm hopefully going to do a lot better on the air today compared to what happened yesterday, when I went on the air and had a lot of issues pronouncing town names.
Pat Kung.
Oh, great.
Munachi.
Yeah.
Frellinghusen.
That one was a load of crap. I still don't believe that's a real town name.
Pequannock.
Yeah. Not good.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
It was an abomination considering you're from New Jersey. You were Francisco Lindor at the plate right now when it comes to Jersey names.
That hurts deeply.
Not even at the plate. That was you getting picked off.
For getting the outs.
Really? Tottawa? Alamuki.
Yeah, the one that started it all. Good old Tater Tottawa.
From Alamucci, how do you get Alamuki?
Because you were kind of screwing with my brain a little bit there, because with all the different pronunciations, the little differences between the words and all that, at that point, I'm like, it can't be Moochie. It has to be Alamuki.
But
Munachi. Yeah, that was bad.
All right, what do you got?
All right, Francisco Lindor. We started off with him, and I'm going to play a little bit of his audio here from last night on losing track of the outs.
A mistake that probably cost Peralta to go an extra inning because he had to throw more pitches after that. Unexcusable. He probably could have gone 6, probably 7. I just forgot the outs.
And are you worried about the lack of offense to start the season?
No, I still believe in what we have. Stearns and the front office did a good job of putting a good team together, and we have a good team. They executed their game plans, and I felt like yesterday we executed our game plan. Just we didn't get the ball up in the air against Palante. He did very good, and then the Stanek and the rest of the guys that came in, they did very good. And then same thing today. So it happens. It's baseball. At the end of the day, we got to play better than the other team. Senga pitched extremely well yesterday. It's hard to win if you don't score runs. Overall, I think it's just we are a couple of pitches away from continuing to get the ball rolling on our side. Just hats off to the Cardinals. They did really good, and move on.
Yeah, see, no. No. I don't like any of that. Because, first of all, you're going through the Cardinals pitching staff. I'm sorry, did I hear a Ryan Stanek in there?
He did.
He pitched here.
Yes, he did.
And I know he got Alvarez at the plate in a really big moment of the game, but, this is not exactly the murderer's row. Where we're talking about the 98 Yankees rotation. This is not that in St. Louis. No disrespect.
When the ace was, for the Cardinals, was 6-12 last year.
Yeah.
This is just not, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's not a Jacob deGrom, situation.
Where the Mets didn't score any runs.
But I guess, here's the thing. I didn't think that the Cardinals really did outplay the Mets in this series, and that's why I am, frustrated by what happened. I'm not saying the season's over, pack it up, but mental errors, not taking advantage of traffic on the bases, not being able to buy a hit is what happened the last 2 games, but just overall not being able to take advantage of situations, hitting with runners in scoring position is just the Achilles heel of this franchise for as long as I've been watching baseball.
And the guy that they brought in to be a great option, or not even option, a great guy who's going to deliver in those situations is not hitting so far in Dante Bichette, in Bo Bichette. And
Dante
Bichette,
might be better.
I mean, Bo in his career is like .330 with runners in scoring position.
I think he'll get there. He might be thinking a little too much because of third base and all that.
Could be. Next.
So there seems to be a little trouble brewing in Chris Carlin's old stomping grounds of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because it seems like they might have a Jalen Hurts issue going on right now. There's a lot of frustration there with the franchise, and we're going to hear from the owner, Jeffrey.
Oh.
I'm in my own mind right now with pronouncing things.
Munachi.
Yeah. Jeffrey Lurie. I definitely screwed that up, and I apologize.
No, you got it right.
I got it right. I'm in my own mind then.
Trust your stuff, Tom.
I will
trust your stuff.
Hey, trust the breaking stuff.
All right. Jeffrey Lurie.
Pat Kong.
No, he doesn't love Pat Kong. He loves Jalen Hurts.
Oh, I love Jalen. I mean, there's no bigger fan of Jalen than me. Clutch gene, absolutely. MVP of the Super Bowl 13 months ago. Should have been MVP of the Super Bowl right before that. Exceptional. And so dedicated. I mean, I think you probably know, spend a lot of time with Jalen, and he's, as I do with most quarterbacks, and incredibly dedicated to the game, to winning, and being a huge winner. I love everything about him.
See, that's great. Now let's get it from from a reporter's perspective. Jeremy Fowler on Get Up talking about the Eagles' frustrations with Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, despite immense success, is facing some frustrations now within his own building. Mainly, sources point to an issue with coachability, that even in 2024, when they won the Super Bowl, coaches trying to implement new schemes, motions and shifts, maybe more things under center. Hurts has pushed back to those at times. They feel like changes within the huddle to play calls have been excessive at times, even giving signals to receivers, hand signals to change a play that weren't installed in the offense. So those are things that have just sort of come to a head despite all the winning that they've done. Passing attack has not diversified in recent years. And now you have another coaching change with offensive coordinator Sean Mannion coming in. It's a situation where there's a moving train that Jalen Hurts now has to get on.
That is such an ideal team for that town right now, because nobody's ever happy, not meaning the fans, meaning the team itself. Nobody's ever happy. They're winning. They actually broke through and won 2 Super Bowls. And you have guys who have been personalities in that town that have built massive careers off of it. Yet at the same time, the guy who's the quarterback, who was amazing in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, is a major problem.
Well,
it's fascinating.
Well, because, I work with a Philadelphia native, in my regular day job with McLovin from the Dan Patrick Show, Andrew Perloff, and he's diehard Philadelphia. And even he will get very frustrated with Hurts. First of all, the passing game is not nearly as good as it should be, especially when you have A.J. Brown and you've got Devontae Smith. But Hurts doesn't want to run anymore. And I think that's his biggest gripe. Now, here's where the Eagles deserve, and I hate talking about the Eagles because, but here's where they deserve some criticism. Hurts is on his 6th offensive coordinator since, you're changing stuff up on him, and, he might not be on board with everything, but the problem is then they fire these guys or they move on, and they're running to reporters to tell them all the terrible things in the locker room.
Well, in part of it, I won't blame them completely on that. Part of it is they can't catch a break because when things do go well, that guy gets a head coaching job.
Right, they get hired.
When it goes poorly, you fire him.
Right.
When it goes well, it's with Steichen and then with Kellen Moore. So you find the right guy. But then, listen, you still have to be able to make it work. And if he's not willing to do that, he's a perfect quarterback for that town.
Well, and A.J. Brown's going to be gone. I wish he had gone to my Bills, but alas, we'll have to make do with DJ Moore.
Yeah, it's not quite the same thing. I mean, I still think he's good. I still think he's better than you think he is. But he did get kind of relegated to more of a gadget receiver last year in Chicago. Anyway, next.
I love the slug here on this next one. Fernando Mendoza had a pro day that wowed a lot of people yesterday. The slug here says, having nerve means I'm ready. I hope we get more great quotes from Fernando Mendoza in the future. Let's hear this one.
I think the main goal today was to serve my teammates. And I think that I was able to do that, be able to put them in a position where they're able to make plays, show what they got, and very excited for them in the future. And like I said, I'm just trying to be the best quarterback come September. So today was cool. And yeah, there's a little bit of nerves right before, but those nerves means I'm ready. And those nerves I turn into energy towards the workout and to be a better quarterback. So in that essence, like there were nerves, but for me, it wasn't very high stakes. It was just having fun with the guys.
From all accounts, he killed it. From all accounts.
I mean, if you look bad at your pro day, shame on you.
Yeah, I know. But
it's all scripted. It's set up for you. It's perfect.
So let's tie that in for a moment with the news of the day that Kirk Cousins this morning signed with the Raiders. It's a 5-year, $172 million contract. That's really a 1-year, $20 million contract. That's just a lot of bookkeeping in there, but it's 1 year, $20 million. Do you, I'm really interested in the fact that he signed with the Raiders, knowing what that is, and what just happened to him. He went to Atlanta,
right?
Not believing they were drafting a quarterback at 8.
No, specifically went there because the Vikings would not assure Kirk Cousins that they wouldn't take a quarterback. Right? He didn't want to compete.
And now there's virtually no question, or is there, that the Raiders are taking Mendoza?
Okay, first of all, this is like the Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza together is what I imagine it's like when you get a job at Bear Stearns or something, and they kind of match you up with somebody. Hey, Brad and Chad, you guys would probably get along. Why don't you hang out together at the barbecue?
Yeah, they both would be let's go out for some cherry Cokes.
Whatever. It's like Spider-Man meme looking at each other. These two guys are kind of feel very similar to me, personality-wise. I think that this is Tom Brady trying to pretend like there's a quarterback competition and trying to make, I'm going to do the air quotes here for the audio audience, make Fernando win the job when it's probably a deck that's pretty stacked towards Mendoza.
Which kind of makes it interesting to me that, do you think the Raiders were his only option for Cousins?
I mean, $20 mill's not bad considering how last year ended.
He does make it work financially every time.
Again, Bear Stearns. Should maybe second career.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Maggie Gray is in for Bart. Game Time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time, 7 o'clock. Rangers hosting the Canadians. Coverage begins on 880 ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app starting at 6:30. 7:30, Devils taking on the Capitals. 9:45, Mets are out west facing the Giants. Coverage begins on 880 ESPN New York starting at 9 o'clock. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. At noon, Sims Spotlight. Phil Sims with a very interesting comp when it comes to the Jets quarterback potential with Ty Simpson.
Hey fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, April 17th when the Yankees host the Royals and be ready to receive a Yankees promotional giveaway that has become a fan favorite. It's Yankees Hockey Jersey Night, presented by StubHub. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees hockey jersey. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, don't miss the Yankees and Royals for Yankees Hockey Jersey Night, presented by StubHub on Friday, April 17th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils protect their home ice, Viking Pest Control protects your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils, Viking brings 45 years of trusted experience and expert service to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, and even mosquitoes out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works. And when you bundle pest control and mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
Time to bench those other hiring sites and let ZipRecruiter help you build a winning team. With ZipRecruiter, when you need to hire, you get to hire the right fit for any role fast. That's because ZipRecruiter's smart matching technology starts showing your job to qualified candidates immediately. You can also apply filters and add screening questions to your job post to help you save time in scouting first-rate talent. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can instantly unlock contact info from a roster of top candidates. That's why over 4.8 million businesses have trusted ZipRecruiter to hire. And check this out. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site in the game, based on G2. So, if you need to score the best, go with ZipRecruiter. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Rings End is your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. They're your store for quality with a full line of brilliant and durable Benjamin Moore paints. They're your store for inspiration with thousands of colors and a variety of sheens. And Rings End is your store for expertise with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. Insist on Benjamin Moore paint from Rings End because the gorgeous color you love can't be matched in another brand of paint.
It feels like everyone's sick right now. You aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I was just traveling. It was like everyone around me was coughing, sneezing, and sick. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. Having a medical emergency kit is like having urgent care and pharmacy right in your home. It includes essential prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus important antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs, and many more common and serious illnesses. It's your kit the moment you need it. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's genius. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. I can save you $45 when you use my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. Again, save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. Confetti Craze makes it easy to turn any day into a party with its delicious birthday cake flavor and big birthday energy. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. I bring these tiny bottles everywhere to cakeify my day with tasty caffeine boosts. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the middle circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Well, I think of Maggie Gray. I think of Zeppelin. That's for sure.
If I hear that
Maggie.
one more time today.
What was it? Was it Marlboro Lights back in the day?
I mean, not me.
Or the Reds? Were you all in?
Mediums. Split the diff. It was cool.
You're still young enough to it where mediums was a thing then. Like when I was smoking at that age, mediums didn't exist.
Yeah, it's funny now to see. I think smoking is coming back with young people, which, by the way, don't do it.
No.
It's disgusting.
No.
But I've seen a little with the, Carlin, I know you were dialed into the Carolyn Bessette, John F. Kennedy Jr. thing.
So I actually had to, tell me about that.
Well, I think I don't like it. I'm the only woman in America, I think, who doesn't like this thing. But it's obviously a time capsule of New York in the 90s. Right? And this, great time in New York that a lot of people listening to the sound of my voice really loved. And they were such huge celebrities, and JFK Jr., obviously. But the woman, Carolyn Bessette, she smokes a lot in the show. And I think it's having such a grip on young people. The show is so popular. I think it's going to bring the smoking back.
Really?
Which is not good. Don't do it.
No, that's
gross.
That's probably not good. No, it's not probably not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
I know it's not good.
We already did this.
Yeah.
We don't have to revisit it.
If you can imagine me being unhealthier, there was a lengthy period where I was smoking. And that's like I was the total package. 315. You know what? Yeah. Marlboro Lights. Let's go. Oh, my God.
Breathing deep.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. Then I woke up on Christmas morning one year and I thought I had a stroke. So I thought maybe it was time to change.
Do you remember once we asked Bart when we were doing the show together, the three of us, if any athletes still smoked?
Yeah.
And he told us a couple. I think it was, I think he said this on the air. I think it was Chris Jenkins from the Jets who used to smoke.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Again, same health plan that I was on. Yeah. Again, I could absolutely see that. By the way, Carlin's Corner Table is coming up next hour, and I'm excited for you to be a part of that.
You eat a pack of Marlboros?
No, but almost as bad with what we do today. No, I here's the thing. I do, I'll go to a lot of the trendier places, but this week we mix it up, and we will try every once in a while the newer menu items at the fast food restaurants. And so today it's the Big Arch at McDonald's. For those who are uninitiated on the Big Arch, we'll tell you all about it. But it included a drive-through experience, which to me, there's nothing better and sadder in life than going through the drive-through and then picking a nice parking spot in the parking lot right there at McDonald's and eating up.
No, it's like it's the evolution of it. It's so hopeful and so good, and it smells so good. And then after you eat it, it's like the smell's kind of still there for a little bit. You got this bag full of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But then once you get rid of the bag, then it's back to being good.
But when one of the best jobs I ever had was delivering for a drugstore in high school and college. And
oh, that's what they called it.
Yes. It was a little.
No, it was a real store. It was a pharmacy.
Air quotes, independent drugstore. No, it was a pharmacy, and I drove around, and the other drivers would always know when I had been in the car because the Burger King smell would still be there. Carlin was working today. I would be smart enough to clean up all the wrappers and be like, oh, they'll never know. But no, that smell just hangs in there for a while.
What is that, Whopper Jr.?
I was always more of a double cheeseburger guy at Burger King. Anyway, let's hit Brian in Manhattan on the calls at 800-919-3776. Brian, what's up?
Hey, I personally I'd go for the chicken sandwich.
At McDonald's or just in general?
At Burger King. It had it was long, like it was a good size, and it was a nice.
Yeah, they used to make a long chicken sandwich that was weird. I have not mended fences with Burger King yet. Maybe we can do that at some point. I'm not,
Yeah, it's not my favorite. But
it's time to bury the hatchet, Carlin.
They can do that anytime they want.
They know where to find
Yeah,
you.
exactly. I'm not hard to find. Anyway, go ahead, Brian.
The reason I called was the Knicks. And look, I don't have last year's record at this time versus this year's record, and I don't have every statistic in front of me, but I know that I watch. And I can't help but feel like I was a proponent of Tibbs getting the axe because I just felt he was too stubborn to use players, and he was tiring out his starters. So I think everyone agrees that he was wearing the starters too long, and he just refused to change. So when someone refuses to change, you have to make a change. That said, I don't for a minute think that Woodson is a better fit for this team. I think they obviously upgraded the lineup in the offseason. And, Woodson isn't even playing, Kolek that much.
Not Woodson,
Yeah,
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
I'm sorry, my apologies.
We already went through the Mike Woodson era. I think that was
I'm sorry.
that was like
Maybe I need some
16
Burger
coaches
King.
ago.
I just don't think they have anything remotely close to what you want in a playoff contender. They don't play great defense. They're not tough.
But Brian, can I just jump in for a second, though? And
Sure,
I don't mean to
of course.
cut you off, but this
Not
was
at
an
all.
Eastern Conference Finals team last year. That's not a mirage. We didn't make that up. And this team is not any different than that team. Why wouldn't they think that they could? I went back, Carlin, and I read an article about all of the NBA coaching vacancies that were open at the end of the season. And it was on ESPN.com. And it was Knicks' number one best opportunity imaginable. You have a ready-made team. It's turnkey. They did seem to like each other, get along, chemistry. It took some incredible moments from the Pacers just to beat the Knicks. And how is that leaked away in this amount of time? I don't see it. I still think they're a formidable team once they just get it
So the
together.
window's still open right now.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think it's closed yet. I think maybe it trended a little bit downward this year, more so than I anticipated, but more having to do with the rest of the East. Like, I really thought this was going to be a wide open year in the East, and I think a lot of us did, and it has turned out to not be the case because of circumstances outside of the Knicks.
Sorry, I was just trying to count how many coaches the Knicks have had since Mike Woodson was here. That was the 2013-2014 season.
I'm going to say they've had 7 coaches since then.
1, 2. Are we counting interims, right? Yeah, definitely. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're on their 7th.
Wow.
Since Mike Woodson. Who can forget the Kurt Rambis era?
I'd like to. Phil Simms, the Simms Spotlight, next on ESPN New York. You call yourselves the Burger King, you're a disgrace.
Hi, I'm John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. You know what's interesting about the words personal injury? The first word is person. And at D'Agostino & Associates, that word means everything. That's because I handpick every person in our firm, from the pleasant professional person who answers your call to the experienced person litigating your case in court. Because every person in my firm is an extension of me, and the only way to exceed our clients' expectations is to deliver the highest level of personal service every single time. And that starts with hiring the right people. You see, we know that every client is a person too. Someone going through the toughest time in their lives and deserves to be more than just a file number. At D'Agostino & Associates, we put the person back in personal injury. So call 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222 and ask for me, John D'Agostino. And let's talk about your case, person to person. D'Agostino, law, bite back.
Attention, New York Verizon mobile customers. Score a massive win with award-winning Fios home internet for an incredible $20 a month, guaranteed for 3 years. Switch today for savings you can count on. Call 1-800-VERIZON now. For new Fios customers with autopay, mobile and home, and bonus discount. Enrollment required. 3-year price guarantee applies to the Fios base monthly rate only. Additional terms apply.
Hi, this is Chevy, managing partner at Precision Solar. If you're looking at solar in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut, here's what actually matters. Real numbers, honest answers, and a team that handles everything. We manage the entire process from start to finish. Designs, approvals, installation, and even a brand new roof if you need one. We don't sell you more than your home actually needs. Just smart systems designed for long-term savings and predictable energy costs. Visit PrecisionSolar.com to schedule your free home assessment. Precision Solar, built to perform for decades.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
Smalls here. Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year one needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, they've seen it all. And they're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Noon on ESPN New York. Bart and Carlin on 880 on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. Maggie Gray is in for Bart this week at 800-919-3776. Last 2 weeks, we've had to do it on Thursday to accommodate his schedule, and I'm always happy to do that. He is the great Phil Simms, which leads us to the Simms Spotlight.
This is the Simms Spotlight. With former Giants quarterback Phil Simms on Bart and Carlin.
The Giants legend joins us right now. Philip, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to be on with you and Maggie and the great Phil Simms. When people say that, it immediately makes me think of Bill Parcells in a press conference. Somebody asking, "Oh, are you talking about the great Phil Simms?" And, which it was kind of funny, but damn, everybody said that. Oh, it is what it is. There's worse things he could have said about me, that's for sure.
Just as an aside, did you ever get a real, actual, genuine compliment from him at any moment in your entire career?
Oh, yeah, every once in a while on the side, not in front of the team.
No, it certainly wasn't in front of anybody. There had to be plausible deniability to it.
Well, Bill, don't ever confuse Bill with being super, super nice when it comes to trying to get things done. But no, on the side, sometimes he would say things to me that were really, I was like, wow, that was awesome. I'll never forget you said that to me today.
Wow, I wish somebody else heard that.
Yeah, that's right. But Bill was great, and I always say this, managing people, getting the best out of you, and knowing how to treat you. He wouldn't have treated me rough with words or anything like that unless he knew I could take it. And apparently he thought I could take more than just a little. He gave a lot. And I'll make this fast. I always try to be quick here. But one day he was just yelling at me behind the line of scrimmage at practice and yelling and just moaning and groaning. And I turned and looked at him. I said, "Will you shut up? I'm so sick of listening to you. All you do is gripe and moan about everything that's bad. Nothing's good." And then he stops me and goes, "Ooh, everybody, Simms is mad at me. Ooh, I think he wants to hit me." And when he did it, I did it just like he did it. I just was like, "Oh man, get out of here." What do you say to him, your head coach, when he does stuff like that? But that's what made him great. That's for sure.
Phil, and good to talk with you. Bill Parcells could get away with stuff like that. First of all, because it was a different era, I think. But secondly, because he had the success to back it up, a lot like Belichick with Brady and how Belichick, as a Parcells disciple, could kind of get on people. I got to be honest, I felt like last year Aaron Glenn of the New York Jets was kind of doing a Parcells impersonation, at least with the media. Do you think Did you see the same thing? And do you think that's going to work? Because it seems like he's changing his tune a lot this year.
Yeah, well, first, I always say this. With Bill Parcells, who's coaching today, of course, he can still be the same guy and relate to the players and get them on his side. He did it many times. Keyshawn Johnson, no matter where he was, he always got the right guys around him. But, yeah, with Aaron Glenn, I agree with you, Maggie, everything you say there. And, he's got to find that balance of really trying to get the best out of his players, but not drive them away from him. And I think that he can do that. He saw it for years. I know he talks to Bill. I think he does a lot. So, how you handle the players, I think we saw a great example this past year, and that was Mike Vrabel in New England. Hey, he's tough on them in practice and meetings, but you could see the connection that he had with the players all year long. And he said to me once, when he was down in Tennessee, he goes, I thought it was all about the X's and O's, Sims. But you know what? It's connecting to these players that's the most important thing. And he's done a great job in two spots doing that. So you can still do all that, but maybe in a little different way than Bill Parcells did, but it still works with players.
Sim Spotlight. Of course, every week Phil Simms joins us to talk about some of the draft prospects. Before we get to that, I do want to get your take on the news of the day about Kirk Cousins signing with the Raiders. Interesting spot. They gave him $20 million, and obviously we all expect the Raiders to take Mendoza.
Yes, we do. He will, even though I have to watch people on TV go, well, he leaves the pocket too early. Really? Oh, you mean after he got destroyed by getting hit by Ohio State guys? Oh, okay, but whatever. Kirk Cousins, this is the perfect match for Fernando Mendoza. They are both football nerds, and I say that with great, whatever you want to say, how much I believe in both and what they do. And he's going to show him the ropes. They're both going to get along really well. I think Kirk Cousins understands why he's there. Of course he does. And he's going to set the way. He'll be the starter most likely in opening day, and he'll keep that job. And as the season goes along, his play has to keep getting better because Mendoza, with practice and talk and watching the games, is going to get better too. So it's really going to be interesting, but I thought it was a great sign by the Raiders picking him up. And that'll help Fernando Mendoza's way into the NFL, I think, a lot easier with Kirk Cousins being around.
Man, I think Phil Simms is with us. I think that Raider fans probably feel a lot like Jets fans, like a little bit in the back of their mind, you guys, that we could get the best player dropped into our lap. This team's going to mess it up somehow because the Raiders don't exactly have this great track record. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows for them, and obviously them and the Jets are picking 1-2. And Phil, obviously I don't think that the Jets are going to go quarterback at 2. But later in the draft, if Ty Simpson is there, do you think he's a good fit? And who would your comp be to Ty Simpson?
Well, it's really hard. I was asked this question, and it depends. When you say later, is that late first round, middle of the first round, second round high? I don't know. They might not even do it then. So I have no feel really what the Jets are looking at. But, there's two things you can't deny about Ty Simpson. He has a really, really good NFL arm, and he's very athletic. He runs around. He makes plays. He's tough as hell, all that. And I was trying to think of who is he in the NFL, and I came up with Bo Nix. That's about I thought, the closest I could get. Guys that move around well, he's a little better athlete, I think, moving than Bo Nix is. But I think Bo Nix is just, he plays big, throws it down the field, and those are things that work well, I think, with Ty Simpson. Now, the Jets, I think he can fit into their offense that they're going to create very easily if they do draft him because, we got Musgrave and Frank Reich there. They're going to run a very traditional offense, all the movement, everything you want to see, and I think it's a really good spot for him, but he just might not be exactly what they want. So the Jets with Ty Simpson, that's going to be interesting to watch draft night.
Phil,
I don't know if I'll answer the
go
question,
ahead.
but
No, sorry. I don't know if I this is my one thing about Frank Reich, and I think Frank has been fantastic in certain spots. And I look back through his history and who he's had success with. It's the bigger, more traditional quarterbacks, the Nick Foles, Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers. he did not have success with Bryce Young, and there's a lot of reasons why that happened, but Bryce was a smaller quarterback. Ty Simpson's, draft combine, 6'1", 211 pounds. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Phillip Rivers, not this huge guy. Sean Payton with Bo Nix was kind of the perfect match because Payton had worked so well with Drew Brees. Do you think Frank Reich can have some success with a guy who's not built like a house?
Yeah. Well, I honestly, to me, I don't think a starting quarterback of what you're describing is out there for the New York Jets to draft. Well, they can say Drew Aller, but, he's not, I don't know. I don't think he's polished enough to really come into the NFL and think he's going to be a starter right away, or maybe not even in his first year. It just depends on how he goes. But, yeah, I understand that. But it's when we say that, and Frank Reich and how they do things, but maybe with the pro day, his film, which until he got beat up and hurt, was not good. It was fantastic. And his private workout, which I'm sure the private workout went really well. These quarterbacks that Mendoza, Ty Simpson, many others, of course, over the years, when they have these private workouts, it is just like, man, I'm going to show off. And they show their talent, and it does get you. In other words, I think if they never thought they might not draft Ty Simpson, maybe the watching everything I just said, but that pro day when it's just them there looking at him, talking to him, and saying, show us this, show us that. When they do that, I think that changes coach's mind. So we'll see where it goes there. It's tough for me to even figure out what will happen.
Sim Spotlight. Phil Simms is with us, the Giants legend, talking about the draft. Let's get to some of these receivers we haven't talked about. We spent a lot of time on the quarterbacks and other players. First of all, Phil,
Sure.
Top tier of receivers for you in this draft. Who do you look at and impresses you the most from what you've seen?
Well, I really didn't do it quite that way. I look at Carnell Tate, which a lot of people, they say he will be very high in the first round and everything. He does have the good size, so that's one thing about him. He's a willing blocker. You know why all these receivers are willing blockers? Because we see about 35 to 40 screens every game in college football. So, but the other guy catches you got to block for him. And but I like him. I don't watch the tape and just go, wow, this is clearly just somebody that his greatness is awaiting. So, like I said, they need another football at Ohio State to throw to all the good receivers they have. But he's just one. What's that?
No, we were just laughing at the line. And, well, he's just one, you got guys like the people are talking about it, Jordan Tyson, Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston. Who else are you looking at there?
Well, I looked at Denzel Boston. I liked him a lot. When the people compare him to Puka Nacua, of course, without what's happened here lately, but he does kind of fit that mold. And 6'4", 212 pounds, I remember writing that down. Very productive on the field, very physical. I mean, he is truly Puka Nacua with a little Michael Irvin splashed in there. So if you're looking for that, he's 6'4", and probably should have caught and had better numbers than he had. But sometimes the quarterbacks at some of these schools just have one thing in common: they like to overthrow and miss people that are wide open. And he was just one of those guys. But who really should be a first-round pick in my eyes, and I don't know if he will or not, is Zachariah Branch from Georgia. Man, he was fantastic. Now, I think, Chris, you and I talked and said, that's Cliff Branch's son, and that kind of changes everything right away. 4'3", tested great. Man, he's instant speed on the field. Just when he takes off, it's full speed, slot receiver, very fast, bigger. He looks bigger on the field than 5'9", but he's one that really, caught my eye watching him. And I watched a lot because it gets kind of fun when you see guys like him running around. You just go, well, let me watch one more game and see if it's the same. And usually it is. Jordan Tyson at Arizona State, another one that jumps out, who I like a lot, big, can make all the catches, all things like that. That was great. Casey Concepcion, I'm just going through them all real quick. Texas A&M, really impressive. 6-foot guy, 196, and another guy. Whatever you look at his stats, don't believe him. He was open much more than that, and just the ball couldn't find the way to him. So, and Chris, I think we talked a little bit, and Maggie, staying to see you too. Omar Cooper. I mean, from Indiana. Yeah, I mean, he looked like a pro on the field. And if you think he's not tough, when you're getting mostly RPOs and run-pass options, I mean, Mendoza threw footballs into these guys. He put it right on their body, thank God, because they were getting smashed. And then their other number one play is what? Back shoulder throws. Well, no matter what you do in back shoulder throws, you're going to take a little punishment. And so he jumped out of nowhere this past season, and it really showed a lot of people what he could do. But there's other guys. Mekhi Lemon played in a great offense for him, another slot receiver at USC. He was really special, I thought. And Casey Concepcion, again, just another, I think, slot receiver that's good. Going to go pretty high in the draft. I think some of them are first-round picks, but at the top of the second round, I expect a lot of wide receivers to come off.
Phil Simms is with us. Phil, if Joe Schoen came to you and said, what should we do as far as adding offensive weapons in this draft, what would you tell him to do? Would you tell him that they need another wide receiver? Would you tell them that they should take Jeremiah Love? What would you say to Giants GM Joe Schoen if he called for your advice?
First off, we all know that he never will do that. I wouldn't let him anyway.
Okay, John Harbaugh calls.
Yeah, same there. John Harbaugh and I had a lot of great conversations through the years when I was covering the Baltimore Ravens. So sometimes they were friendly, and other times it got a little tight, but whatever. But as I was listening to your question, immediately in my mind, Maggie, it was the Notre Dame running back, Mr. Jeremiah Love. I mean, I'm a big believer, and I've actually heard people, not that I put it out there first, but people, if you want to turn your team around, maybe the fastest way to do it is have a great running back. And I think Jeremiah Love is a great running back who will, day one, adapt NFL-style running back, whatever you got to be. And if the Giants take him, I won't even have one negative thing to say about it. I will just go, wow, I love it. I really do. If they take him, that with Jackson Dart and, getting everybody, Malik Neighbors outside, getting him back, shoot, man, this could change the football team quick. And, of course, I love the fact that they got these two offensive coordinators there, too. Greg Roman's going to show Jackson Dart some new ways to run the quarterback keeper or whatever it is and not get hit. Oh, show him a lot of Lamar Jackson, because he didn't take many big hits either. And, of course, guys, I'm losing the track of the name. Matt Nagy's there, too. Mm-hmm. Yes, so it's a great – Jeremiah Love with that and this football team and an improving offensive line, that would be so exciting, I think, for Giant fans.
Sim Spotlight, Phil breaking down the draft for us. Let's get to a couple of pass rushers here, especially considering the Jets at the very top. Phil, I'm fascinated by Arvell Reese. We hear the name Micah Parsons a lot just because the profile coming out was similar. Parsons played a lot of middle linebacker. This guy's played a lot of little middle linebacker. What are your impressions here, and how easy of a transition would it be for him to become more of just an edge guy?
Well, I think it's tough. As I looked at him and watched him, I probably, second-guessed myself all the time about how I talk to the draft coming, the players coming out. But to say anything, Micah Parsons, Abdul Carter, it's not in the same world. It really isn't. They were like, wow, every game, almost every play. And the thing that scares me about Arvell Reese is the fact that he's 6'4", 241 at the combine. And so what is he really? And, as I watched him play, yeah, he hustles his butt off. I actually wrote my notes. He plays about as hard as anybody. He almost reminds me at times just running around and trying to get it done was Lawrence Taylor, who was great at chasing plays from behind and getting it done. But think about that. 6'4", 241. And let's see. Oh, he's going to play outside and rush the passer. Now, I know he plays inside too a lot, all this stuff. But we got tackles in the NFL now. 320 is like, man, you need to put some weight on. These tackles are so big, and for undersized edge rushers, if you get hit with one of their arms, the play's over for you. So I do have a lot of questions about Arvell Reese. Will it be – is it truly going to be a high number one, and is he going to play like that right away? I got to see it to believe it. So there you go.
Phil, Phil Sims is with us. If the Jets called you, all right, Joe Shane put the phone down. Now it's Darren Muji calls you and says, should I take Reese or should I take Bailey? Who would you tell him to take? David Bailey.
Woo-wee. Man. All I've heard all along, everybody loves Arvell Reese, but the best pass rusher coming in is David Bailey. And I would probably say David Bailey. I would go ahead and do it. You know, sometimes there's so many people on the side of who you're talking about, it's hard to go against it because, you know, many of these people I watch them on TV and everything. They do it for a living. So they're in the weeds with these guys. But David Bailey at times, you know, he had a great year, a lot of sacks, stayed on the edge. He's got some of the things you want. You know, ran the 40 and 4.5. I'm looking at my notes here and saw that. Yeah, some of these guys rushing the passer, it's 4.5, 4.4 like it's nothing. But he does look bigger on the field than his weight says. I probably would go with David Bailey there, Maggie.
All right, Phil. I'm so tired of hearing about short arms with Ruben Bain. Every time I look up the last 3 years, this guy is wrecking games. Is this thing overblown? What do you think about Bain?
Well, you know, I didn't like him. I loved him. Man, I mean, damn. You know, as big as he is, man, it's hard not to look at him and go, he's got the biggest damn set of legs and athleticism or whatever you want to say. It's really unique. I mean, he came in I think to combine, I'm just guessing because I didn't write these numbers down, the high 200s. But I do one number that jumped out when you look at him and see how he plays, the 40-yard dash. He ran it in 4.72. I mean, come on. To be big, a defensive end, is all the things he has, and to run that fast. I think he's a really good athlete. He can play both sides of the pass rush, right side, left side. It doesn't matter. And he's so quick and makes people miss that he gets back in the pocket that gives the quarterback a chance to, get away from him. But he does beat the tackles. For the body he has, you don't expect it, but I saw many, many times he would beat the tackle strictly with one thing, because of his speed and quickness getting off the football. So, and not only that, he's that guy too. I didn't see it for many of these so-called great pass rushers, but he can do that dip. You know what I mean? It's when he lowers the shoulder. If he's on the left side, the right shoulder goes down, and he just kind of keeps cruising around to get the quarterback. Really, really impressive. I did think towards the end of the year, not to get away from him, but late in the year, Akeem Mesidor, to me, all of a sudden I started noticing him a lot more. And especially, of course, when I studied him, I was very impressed with him too.
Do you care that he's 25?
I love the fact that he's 25. It's just one more year to get angry and mad as hell. How's that? Okay. Yeah, I love this. Well, they do this with quarterbacks, and I don't get it. They played for 4 years in college. Well, he's only 20, so there's a lot of upside. But if you're 23, I don't know. He could be. It's crazy. It doesn't bother me at all. Honestly, I really do like it. I think maturity, seeing everything, understanding, it just gives you a little better chance to be that way. So I liked him a lot. He was a good edge rusher. He's big. I don't know about the arm length. I hear that. You just made – that was pretty funny, Chris. But, yeah, the arm length, I've never studied it like I know these teams do, but there has to be something to it for it to be talked about constantly. And yes, I know it helps because of one thing now. These offensive tackles, when I go to practice with the Giants or the Jets or anywhere, and I just stand around on the field, I look at the linemen, I go, oh my God, these tackles are humongous on every team. So whatever they dealt with in college is one thing, but when you come to the pros, those tackles it's real. They're giants, and you got to have certain attributes, I think, to beat those guys. But both of them, Bain and Mesidor, yeah, I think they're both going to be really good pros. I feel good about either one of them. If I was a general manager and draft them, going, okay, I think we did the right thing here. It's not going to be either going to be great or fail. So I like them both.
Excellent stuff as usual. We will talk again next week. Looking forward to breaking down more of these because this is going to be fascinating between these two teams, especially early, Phil.
Yeah, I think it will be. And I think the other thing, too, talking to both of you, this running back class coming out, nobody's talking about it much, or at least I don't think they are. I don't see it on much or hear it. But, boy, there are some damn good running backs. And it just so happens, Notre Dame, yeah, they were a really good football team. The quarterback was really good. And when you have two big-time NFL running backs behind you, look out. So that's going to be Price for Notre Dame. That'll be interesting to see where he goes in the draft. But for Jeremiah Love, he could go, like you said, he could go to the Giants. And if they take him, I would understand it and think it's a great pick.
Phil, we'll talk next week. Appreciate it, as usual.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Maggie, good to talk to you.
You too. Phil and I both have an affinity for athletes with big derrieres.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you heard that right. That's where the power comes from, Phil. We both know it.
I hear you. You got to have a big motor. Want to run fast. Okay.
Phil Simms, the Simms Spotlight, each and every week. He has been giving us some great information, and we really appreciate the fact that he's willing to come on and do it. And, I've had a couple of conversations with him off the air when we're going through our, some guys that he wants to talk about, just so we can kind of have a plan when we get him on. And he has been just, it's so insightful to sit and listen to a guy like that talk about the things that you do not see that are just so important that make the ultimate differences. And frankly, yesterday we were on the phone and the Mesidor 25 thing I brought up, and I knew, he's like, no, this is, who cares? The guy's going to come in and play right away.
Yeah, well, the one thing, too, so guys have an incentive now to stay in college for a little bit longer if you're making some real money to make sure, hey, if I stay one more year, I'm going to guarantee I'm a first-rounder next year as opposed to maybe I'm a tweener or whatever this year. And I get when you say, well, if a guy's already 25, by the time he gets to his second contract, now you're throwing a lot of money at a 30-year-old. To me, that math ain't mathin'. First of all, if it's a quarterback, they're getting paid in 3 years. So you're not giving 30-year-olds. They're more like 27, 28 years old. So I don't think you have to worry about that. And guys are playing longer. These injuries are not career-ending anymore. So guys are coming back. Look at what you thought was just going to happen with Max Crosby, right? I know that's maybe a bad example because the trade got rescinded, but you are paying top dollar for even pass rushers when they get into their 30s. Look, my Bills gave Von Miller $50 million when he was 31.
Well,
again,
that was
bad
just
example. But I'm just saying, these guys are still getting paid deep into their career. I don't think you have to say, oh, he's 24 or 25 coming out of college. He's already wasted.
Other part of that, too, Bo Nix. If Ty Simpson's Bo Nix, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Also, Carlin's Corner Table on the way. Bart and Carlin, Maggie Gray in for Bart, ESPN New York.
Woo-wee.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. I'm big on having the right game plan on the ice and at home, which is why I use Viking Pest Control myself as the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils. Viking has been protecting homes for over 45 years with expert pest control service and solutions tailored just for you. From ants and cockroaches to rodents, stinging insects, and backyard mosquitoes, Viking keeps pests out of your house and out of the play. Bundle pest control with mosquito services and save big. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Viking Pest Control, protecting your home inside and out.
Hey, this is Chevy, managing partner at Precision Solar. We believe going solar should be simple. And it should make real financial sense. We manage the entire process from start to finish and offer flexible solar payment options designed around your goals. When the numbers work, solar can lower your monthly cost and give you predictable energy for decades. And if you refer someone who installs with us, you can earn up to $1,000. Visit PrecisionSolar.com to schedule your free home assessment.
The New York City Department of Correction offers countless career opportunities, from specialized units to leadership roles that support public safety and change lives for the better. It starts with one step: registering for the New York City Correction Officer exam. Earn over $109,000 after just 5.5 years. Benefits on day one, job security, pension at any age after 22 years of service. Go to nyc.gov/joinDOC or search Join DOC. One career, many opportunities. Register today to take the test.
Hi, this is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino and Associates, the injury firm. I've talked about how a construction accident took my father's leg. The heavy prosthetic he wore looked nothing like the high-tech limbs we have today. It was crude wood and metal, held together by bolts that dug into his skin and left painful ulcers. But the thing I remember about my dad is how he never complained. He put on his prosthetic leg and he went to work. He coached my baseball teams, danced, sang karaoke, and even loved to travel. He may have limped, but he always held his head up high and he lived with dignity. At D'Agostino and Associates, I spent over 35 years building a law firm that helps accident victims and those in need of their Social Security disability benefits. We fight till our clients get the money and dignity they deserve. So call us today at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey. So don't tell me personal injuries aren't personal. I know what they can cost a family. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law. Bite back.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Rich Eisen here. For small businesses, every hire counts, and so does your time. Hiring can quickly become overwhelming, from sorting applications to figuring out who's truly qualified. That's where LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps. It streamlines the process so you can focus on connecting with the right candidates, not managing the noise. Hire right the first time. Post your job and get $100 off towards your job post at linkedin.com/Eisen. That's linkedin.com/Eisen. Terms and conditions apply.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York YouTube channel. Listen, it's a thrill and an honor that I would imagine it is for you, certainly, to be part of this, to be part of Carlin's Corner Table. How could it not be? How could it not be?
I mean, I've just been waiting, just biding my time until I get to witness this in person. Although I thought you'd have some fancy, highfalutin thing today that I could make fun of you about.
What part of me has ever been highfalutin in any way?
I don't know. I saw you eat a $20 milkshake or something recently. What was the one? The ice cream sundae? Black Tap?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was fancy.
It was fancy, but it wasn't worth it. It wasn't. It was like $20, and it was... I think I gave it three Carlins, because it's like you actually can have too much of a good thing and too much of a sweet thing, like over the top. When you just throw everything at it and assume it's all going to work, it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes it does.
It's like the Mets lineup. Just throw everything at it. It doesn't work.
See what happens.
No hits.
Today we hit the drive-through on Carlin's Corner Table.
I had some bacon.
Chris Carlin likes food.
There's not much of a better smell in the world than Cinnabon.
Chris Carlin has opinions on food.
You call yourselves the Burger King, you're a disgrace.
It's Carlin's Corner Table.
I used to go to the Fudge Factory in Baltimore all the time.
Did he mean to say it like that? Can I ask you one quick question, though? We talked about your fluctuating weight now because you're on the GLP-1s, right? And your clothes aren't fitting the right way, and you're getting smaller. Mm-hmm. Has it affected your appetite, obviously, but has it affected the types of food you like?
Oh, no.
Oh, I wasn't sure how. These are powerful drugs.
No, and you'll find out in a moment what I'm talking about.
Proceed.
So this week we decided to go to the drive-thru. Now, we will, on occasion, instead of going to the trendy place, try the new menu items at the fast food restaurants. And we, this week, and when I say we, I mean me. I don't know why I'm saying we collectively, as if there's some massive team behind us, that we have unbelievable production meetings that are catered. No, me, I decided, you know what? There's McDonald's. They got the Big Arch, which is a new sandwich at McDonald's. Now, personally, I have never been a Big Mac guy. I have always been a Quarter Pounder guy.
Yeah.
Okay? So the Big Arch is the following. It is 3 slices of white cheddar cheese. It is a double Quarter Pounder. It is 2 Quarter Pounders burgers. It is crispy onions and slivered onions. So both crispy and slivered. And it is a sauce that is made of mustard, pickle, and sweet tomato. So it's not the normal Big Mac sauce. It's a different tasting sauce, a little tangier, I would say. And it's lettuce. Now, first things first. I immediately order it without lettuce because lettuce makes everything worse.
I was going to say the lettuce is hilarious. Yes. The lettuce is mocking you at this point.
No, the lettuce makes everything worse.
Yeah, that might have been how you got into this situation in the first place.
Exactly. So I order it without lettuce. Now, here's the important part about that, though. And it's a tenet that I think people need to remember. Just a little side note when you go to the drive-thru. Your best course of action, if you have the additional 2.5 to 3 minutes to wait, is to make some small adjustment in the order of whatever your sandwich is. Let's say you're not always in love with pickles. Order it without pickles. Why? It's all going to be fresher. It hasn't been sitting there waiting when it's not all pre-made.
Right.
So when I ask for the Big Arch without lettuce, I know I'm getting that thing steaming hot. It's coming right out.
Custom order.
Exactly. And it's not a massive tweak. It's a small tweak. There's something on it that maybe you don't love 100%. You do that, and you end up with a better product. And I feel good about that. Number 2, I would also always advise this for the drive-thru, and people don't take heed of this enough, so pay attention and write it down. Order your fries well done at any drive-thru ever, because otherwise you're getting soggy fries. Even McDonald's, who I would call the king of fries, always order your fries well done, because that way, even if they're just a little bit crispier, they're not going to get soggy, and you're going to be in better shape.
I mean, you're like a PhD here. This is gold.
This is not just show up and make it happen. I do not mail these things in. So here's the thing about the Big Arch. I'm always a little bit skeptical when it comes to a newer menu item. I am always a play the hits guy when you go to McDonald's or any of these kind of places. So I was a little bit skeptical of the Big Arch, frankly. Hit the drive-through, got the Big Arch meal, and it was, I believe, $12.79, which is the double cheeseburger, or the double quarter pounder with everything I just described, medium fries, medium soda. Maggie, I have to say, I was expecting this to be a double quarter pounder with cheese, and that's it. It's not what it was.
Really?
It was better.
Really?
Yes. The one other thing I left out makes a little difference, not that big of a difference. These buns, sesame and poppy seed.
That's
both.
nice.
Yeah. It's not quite an everything bun.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah.
You know, it just seemed like a lot of onions, though. Was that overpowering? You got
It
two
was
types.
not.
Okay.
It was not, and I was a little bit afraid of that.
Yeah.
Because onions are okay, but crispy and slivered onions on the bottom was solid. The sauce was very good, and the cheese did have a different taste to it than your normal McDonald's cheese product.
I was going to say, can you legally call it cheese? Did you ask?
Now, do I think they went to the supermarket and sliced off 3 white cheddar slices from the boar's head? No.
Murray's cheese?
No.
Yeah.
But when we are grading here on the fast food curve, this was a very good product that I would advise they keep.
How many Carlins?
We're going 4 out of 5 Carlins. Keep in mind,
Wow.
now, I would say that is on the fast food scale.
Sure.
Okay? It is not, 5 out of 5 Carlins with some of the products that we've had before. This is on the fast food scale, 4 out of 5 Carlins for the Big Arch. I really enjoyed it, and I normally am a ketchup on a burger guy. I like the sauce. I am normally a, keep it as simple as possible. It was a melange of flavors that came together pretty nicely.
Yeah. Wow, a melange. Well done.
Well done.
Okay, can I ask you something? Because I've known you now for a while, and we've had many meals together.
Yeah.
Are you going to ever do a Carlin's Corner table where you go a little outside the box and maybe start to try some things that you don't like? Because I know you say you like food. You've got some things you won't eat. Chris Carlin doesn't eat seafood?
Well, I'm allergic.
Oh, you're allergic?
Yes.
Oh, that's why we never got sushi?
That's why I've never gotten sushi.
Oh, okay.
I have had seafood a couple of times, and when I have, I love shrimp.
Okay.
Violently ill.
Oh.
And it's shellfish and seafood.
Oh, do
it's
it for the
oils.
video.
Oof, I don't think anybody needs to see me projectile vomiting.
Well, you can rate the restaurant, then rate the ambulance ride, and then rate the hospital stay.
Rate the quality of the vomit. No, that's great. That's that discussion.
Would you do like frog's legs or foie gras or something that, I'm not trying to be bougie. I'm just saying, are you going to go outside the box? Because I watch your Carlin's Corner table. I'm a big fan. I'm a P1, as they say. But I notice a lot of burgers, a lot of sandwiches, a lot of cake, ice cream. Are you going to, get funky?
Sure. I certainly would. I haven't presented myself with that opportunity yet, but where am I ordering foie gras?
It's New York City. You can get foie gras at 4 a.m. I don't know. But
what is foie gras?
It's goose liver, duck liver.
Okay.
It's probably terrible for you, but
it's a delicacy.
It's a delicacy.
Is there anything about me that strikes you as, you know what? I bet that guy has a tremendous feel on a delicacy.
That's what I'm saying. I need you at a fancy, can we find the fanciest place in New York and do a Carlin's Corner table? Let's get you to, I don't know, Per Se or something, La Bernardin.
Well, I'll leave you with this thought on that. I think there were a lot of people who questioned the Wilpons over the years as owner of the Mets.
Do you think?
Okay. I would say that Fred Wilpon did one thing incredibly well, and it might be his best move ever as Met owner. He saw me appear on SNY as a guest, and he pointed to the TV and he said, "That's every man, and I want every man on his network." And people, I am not joking. This happened. This is why I got full-time TV work at SNY for as long as I did, because Fred loved the idea of having every man on his network. And so I, since that point, have personally tried to serve the everyman. Now, Bart has often suggested, we could go here, we could go there. These are places that the everyman can't get in. Like, does it help if I go and rate Rayo's? I would love to go to Rayo's.
Cool. Yeah, me
it would
too.
be amazing. I could never get in on my own without the help of somebody else. So what's the point in rating it if I'm telling you how amazing it is and you can't go?
Well, that's an amazing story, by the way, about Fred
That's
Will.
100% true.
It'd be funny if he said it.
Saw me on Daily News Live.
Like on the private jet, sipping the champagne. It's like, that's our everyday. But
that is the key to cable success right there.
But how about this? Okay, New York City. Got 5 boroughs here, got all the best food in the world. You don't have to do fancy. Let's get you down to Chinatown.
I'll go to Chinese food, absolutely.
Well, let's get you down to eat like the duck tongues. Let's get the real Chinese cuisine.
No, there's something.
Not the
this
General
is really
Tso's.
You trying to put me more of an uncomfortable position for your own entertainment.
Yes,
That's what
I
this
am.
is.
And your audience.
Duck tongue.
Eat some duck tongue. You haven't lived.
Joe Leo, have you ever had duck tongue?
No, but I've had goat's neck.
Goat's neck.
Also works.
It was delicious, by the way.
Really?
See?
Yes.
I'm not a 5-year-old. Okay? I don't need to just have burgers and fries and that's it. But I'm just thinking of the audience. That's all. That's all. Okay.
They want to see you eat a fried scorpion.
I'm sure they do.
Or a live scorpion.
Now, why would I eat a live scorpion? Maybe I'll do it. Listen, for the views, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I will. What the hell else are we doing it for? I ran out of gas in Iowa. What did we do? We made it content.
And
That's it.
Do you want to talk about yesterday?
It is kind of funny. We'll explain next. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
New York Knicks fans, here's a total slam dunk. For a limited time, new Verizon Mobile and home customers can get Fios and Alina Mobile for just $69.99 a month with AutoPay. Get Fios 300 megabits per second for $20 a month and unlimited welcome for $50 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more. For new Fios Internet and mobile customers, discounts applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. Additional terms apply. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Gold and silver prices are soaring and near all-time highs. If you want to get cash in your hands for your old jewelry, now is the time. Get the most competitive prices at the Estates Roadshow. Old rings, chains, and even broken jewelry. Don't wait. Cash in while gold and silver are hot. 3 locations this week: Staten Island, Old Bridge, and Toms River. Bring your gold, silver, coins, diamonds, and watches, even broken pieces, and get cash on the spot. There's never been a better time to sell. No appointments, no fees, no pressure. Just friendly professional buyers with over 35 years in the business. Go to the Estates Roadshow Monday through Friday in Staten Island at the Hilton Garden Inn, and Friday through Tuesday in Old Bridge at TMT Cash for Gold, the bright yellow building on Route 9 South, or TMT Cash for Gold in Toms River on Route 37, corner of Hooper Avenue, just off the Garden State. For more info, follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook or go to tmtcashforgold.com.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Baseball fans, FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with Daily Dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game. And if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is home of the home run. Here in New York, a lot of people will have all eyes on Aaron Judge. But what about big playoff G Giancarlo Stanton? Head over to FanDuel.com/local to opt in for Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a home run. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game. And if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB. 21 and over in Fisley Present, New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Tricon Construction is expanding across New Jersey, taking on larger, more complex commercial projects and delivering at a big league level. If you're a developer who values precision, accountability, and execution, you need a construction partner who understands what's at stake, timelines, capital, reputation. That's Tricon. They're building the right way with experienced leadership, disciplined project management, and a team that shows up ready. Serious projects, serious results. Visit TriconBuilds.com, TriconBuilds.com.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Join DiPietro and Rothenberg Thursday, April 23rd for a special couch cast of Round 1 of the NFL Draft. Presented by Calandra's Bakery. The Jets and Giants have 3 picks in the top 16, and Rick and Dave will react live as the first round unfolds. From the big decisions to the big-time drama. Catch it all in this YouTube-only exclusive, and it's all from Calandra's Bakery and your home for football talk. ESPN New York.
Here's what I love about Maggie. It took her about 5 seconds to get into the spirit of this thing. And she has already come up with her top 5 fast foods. Are you ready? We're going to count it down from 5 to 1?
Well, it was inspired by this week's Carlin's Corner Table, which you did McDonald's The Big Arch. And you said in the last segment, you think it should become a permanent menu item.
I do think it should become a permanent menu item.
I'm only going with permanent menu items here. And this is across all spectrums of fast food. Not fast casual, not Chipotle, not Panera.
Okay.
Just fast food. Top 5 best things.
All right, we're going 5 to 1?
Let's go 5 to 1.
Number 5.
The Frosty. Wendy's Frosty, 5. So good. It's, some people like to dip fries in it.
I've seen that a lot lately, and I'm not the biggest fan of the dipping of the fries in it.
No, I use it as a dessert.
Yeah.
Frosty, number 5.
Number 4.
Gotta go Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme. Must be eaten immediately upon receipt, or else it's going to get a little bit soggy. Taco Bell, if you know, you know. You gotta be in the mood. It's gotta be a certain hour of the day.
Nothing
420
short,
or
nothing.
night 420.
Gotcha.
Yeah, lean right in.
Number 3.
The spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's. It's the second time that Wendy's make an appearance on this top 5 list. Obviously, you know where my loyalties tend to lie. I think of all the chicken sandwiches out there, Wendy's does the best. The spicy chicken is the king of chicken sandwiches.
I would not disagree with that. I do like Chick-fil-A, but I would absolutely agree with that 100%.
Number 2.
I'm glad you brought up Chick-fil-A. This is where I'm just going to give you the Polynesian sauce.
Yeah.
It's a top quality item. I don't care if you put it on a fried chicken sandwich, grilled chicken, nuggets, and whatever. The Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A is a delight.
Can I offer a slight alteration to that was brought to my attention last year by a woman who was a producer of First Take? Combination Polynesian sauce and Chick-fil-A sauce, mix it together, dip the fries in that. Bang!
I mean, this is innovation. We're the best country in the world.
We really are. And the combination of it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm making a mental note of that. Thank you. And
number 1.
Yeah, number 1 is McDonald's French fries. It's not going to be topped. They're so good. Again, must be eaten upon receipt.
Yeah.
You don't want those to get cold. From you, I learned I should be ordering them extra crispy.
You should be.
Pro tip.
Just well done. Just say well done. And that way, again, when it's drive-through only, when you're doing drive-through, that's the way to do it.
There you go.
All right. That's a solid choice. John Winthrop is in the other room, and he is, if you're not familiar with John's facial expressions, I would term this skeptical John on a lot of those choices right there. Is that a fair Yeah.
It's an unassailable list.
Yeah.
I mean, spot the
He's
spot
assailing.
the dip.
He's assailing. He'll be assailing the list.
I mean, this is the thing. I have a top 5 all-time best things from fast food. I do not have a burger on here.
Yeah. No, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. What does he mean, John? Come on in, just real quick. We got 3 minutes left. What the hell else are we doing?
I mean, I don't know how you could take issue with this list.
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, the McDonald's fries, that's undefeated.
Yeah, it's a number 1 seed.
If you were to take issue with anything, what's the problem?
Well, I think Maggie hit it on the head. The fact that there's no burger on a
So what
fast food
burger
list.
would be on it?
I do like the Dave's Double, but I probably would have to put the double quarter pounder from McDonald's.
Slightly ahead of Dave's?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's a toss-up. I haven't really. You're hitting me on the spot. You know how I think about my food.
I do. It really does.
By the
like
way,
break it all down.
No representation from the Colonel. Where
he is a big KFC guy. John
Where is my
defines whether or not
crispy?
it's a big game on Sundays with the NFL. Is it a KFC game?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have 2 chicken sandwiches, and neither from the Popeyes one.
Okay, well, that might be a mistake. Now, Bart is the one, and if Bart was here and listening to this, he'd be screaming because he always was mad at me that I was not eating enough Popeyes when we were doing shows.
The Popeyes chicken sandwich, I think, is superior to both those chicken sandwiches.
Really? Than a spicy chicken? And my other one is what? The Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme?
Yeah.
You're assuming there's chicken in there. I'm going beef.
Okay.
And at your own risk.
I don't really have a problem with Taco Bell representation.
Okay.
You know, you have to be in the, like you said, you have to be in the mood for it. You got to, as Don LaGreca would say, does anyone want to ring the bell? That's what he said.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody? Yeah. Used to be run for the border. Now it's ring the bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you have to have a burger on that list for it to be a top 5 list.
I would think so, yeah. There's so many great burger places.
Yeah. I've heard little whispers and rumors that In-N-Out might be making its way to New York soon.
Come on board.
Possibly. The problem is In-N-Out's great for the burger. Fries at In-N-Out suck.
Last time I had In-N-Out, Las Vegas, off the strip.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that In-N-Out.
Yeah.
How sad is it that I can say, yeah, I know that one. I know the exact one you're talking about. I would say it's probably about 3/4 of a mile from Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was there to watch McGregor Mayweather.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
By the way, if you like if you like slushies that much. Not
Frosties.
Slushies. Frosties.
Yeah.
I'm mixing up
Yeah,
my
you were
words.
very skeptical on the Frosty. I saw that look on your face.
Well, I bought a Ninja slushy machine maker over the summer.
Yeah.
You can make Frosties like almost to a T with like 3 ingredients.
Oh, boy.
Man,
like
you guys got
it's
all
almost
this info.
exact. My kids are like, oh, wow, look at it. Yeah.
He is like the thinnest man whose opinion I respect on this. He has really shown himself over the last
I was going to
couple of
say,
years.
usually I only take my food advice from, a certain type of person.
Yeah, understood.
Jonathan doesn't fit the police blotter
No.
of that.
Well, my wife might say otherwise, but either way.
Police sketch artist, if you will,
That'll do it for us. Kaster's in, correct? Kaster is with us next. He will be up momentarily. And then, of course, Don Hahn and Rosenberg. Maggie Gray in for Bart. She'll be with us again tomorrow on ESPN New York and the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
Hi, I'm John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. You know what's interesting about the words personal injury? The first word is person. And at D'Agostino & Associates, that word means everything. That's because I handpick every person in our firm, from the pleasant professional person who answers your call to the experienced person litigating your case in court. Because every